for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The U.S. military is conducting a rescue operation after an American fighter jet went down over Iran. One of two crew members has been rescued. CBS News national security analyst Aaron McLean.
This appears to have been an F-15E. This is an American fighter jet that also is a bomber over Iran in recent weeks. We can assume it's being used for so-called air-to-ground missions. So prosecuting targets, the aircraft are kind of hanging out in the skies over Iran, waiting for targeting information to come in, and then they go after whatever the target may be, whether that's a missile launcher or what have you.
CBS's Weijia Zhang at the White House.
We haven't heard directly from President Trump, and the White House has not offered any reaction other than to say that he has been briefed. So obviously he is monitoring the situation and likely calculating what the very important response will be.
The Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem was able to have a Good Friday service in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, but members of the public were not allowed to attend. According to this Jerusalem resident,
Jerusalem is very sad, especially with this day, the Good Friday. We are sad too, but more when we have a tourism pilgrimage coming and we see Jerusalem full of people, that's make us more happy.
Earlier this week, the government had blocked the Roman Catholic cardinal from observing Palm Sunday, the beginning of Holy Week at the church. The Artemis 2 astronauts are sending back photos and doing some routine tests on this third day of their trip toward the moon. CBS's Chris Van Cleve at the Johnson Space Center.
They are basically on cruise control to the moon. It's about a 4-day trip. So they have this time in space, sort of at cruise, to explore the capsule, test it, make sure everything is working properly, and report back as they wait for what will really be the main event, that circling of the moon, going to the far side of the moon, potentially seeing things no other human has ever seen.
President Trump has released his 2027 budget. CBS's Linda Kenyon has some of the details.
The budget, which reflects President Trump's spending priorities, requests $1.5 trillion in defense spending, or a 44% increase from the previous budget. It includes money for the president's Golden Dome missile defense, a 5 to 7% pay raise for troops, and more funding for shipbuilding, ICE, and immigration detention beds. It continues cuts to the Department of Education. It also cuts $1.4 billion from the IRS and $15.8 billion from health programs, while it also reduces heating assistance and homeless programs. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
A 5.8 magnitude earthquake in Kabul, Afghanistan, has killed at least 8 people, according to the governor's office. This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
The hunt for an escapee from Western State Hospital continues. More on that coming up, but first, your KIRO News Radio traffic. A good-looking commute on our Good Friday outside of downtown Seattle. It's wide open out there. So North 5, we're dealing with scattered backups approaching the West Seattle Bridge, across the Ship Canal Bridge. 20 minutes to get through all this. South 5, it's slow from Northgate across the Ship Canal Bridge. Less than 20 minutes, though, from Linwood to Seattle. And if you're cruising through JBLM, there's a brief 1 to 2 mile backup at that main gate, slowing your commute by just a few minutes. This update brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Nate Connors. A man who escaped from Western State Hospital remains on the run, and police say he is considered dangerous. KIRO 7's Jack Bilyeu says Joshua Dylan Rice apparently climbed out the window of his room on Tuesday night.
Police tell us their search had a major issue. Hospital staff didn't notice he'd escaped until 12 hours later.
That's probably what's going to happen here is they'll catch him when he hurts someone else.
Jeremiah Traxler is the victim in the case that sent Joshua Dylan Rice to Western State. He says Rice randomly attacked him in a Vancouver, Washington parking lot in 2024 and carjacked him.
Police say anyone with information should call 911. We have photos of Rice on our website, mynorthwest.com. One person is dead in Tacoma after an apparent fire that happened just before 8 this morning. Catherine woke up to the alerts as firefighters evacuated the complex.
I could smell the smoke from inside, but nothing was really apparent on the outside until a bit later when smoke started coming out of the top floor.
Firefighters say the fire apparently started in a third-floor apartment and damaged 2 others. No word yet on what caused it. Fintech company Robinhood is jumping into the legal fight over prediction markets and state gambling laws. KIRO News Radio's John Repp has the story.
The company has filed a lawsuit against the state of Washington in what is essentially a preemptive move, coming after the state attorney general Nick Brown sued the prediction market Kalshi. These markets let users essentially win or lose money on what are known as event contracts, predicting everything from election results to what the president will say at the White House Easter egg roll. Puget Sound Business Journal reports the lawsuit from Robinhood is asking for an injunction to bar the state from regulating the company's event contract trading. John Rapp, KIRO News Radio.
Multiple states have taken action against Kalshi for alleged violation of gambling laws. Crews have cleared the biggest trees and boulders that fell onto I-5 during a landslide south of Bellingham. The northbound lanes have been closed for weeks. Now crews are drilling holes in the rocky hill above. They're installing dowels to keep the slope from moving. I-5 northbound is still closed, and there's still no ETA for reopening. And now look at your KIRO News Radio weather. Turning partly sunny throughout the afternoon, a high around 57. Partly sunny and mid to upper 60s for the weekend, mid 40s overnight. Cloudy and 51 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show. Happy Friday to you. Jake Skorheim here. Spike O'Neill sitting right there.
Hey, buddy. Happy Friday, man.
Yeah, man. We got a lot of stuff to get to. It's going to be a great show. If you guys want to get in on any of this fantastic conversation, you can text us at the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. A lot of stuff to talk about. Also, here's another fun thing. 2 o'clock, we do our Friday favorites. Mm-hmm. We look back on all our favorite stories of the week. Mine is a complete obvious, and you'll get that at 2 o'clock. Spike and Laura will have theirs as well. But if you guys want to be part of this too, you can text us and let us know. Whoever has the most, maybe we'll use that as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. All right, let's get right to our first guest. We're very happy to have him. He's a great guy. His name is Luke Ducey. He's a KIRO News Radio reporter. My audio.
Drop a deuce on everybody.
There he is.
Oh, yes, I am.
Luke, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. Although, are people safe to leave their homes? Man. Are we safe to be outside this weekend? Tell us about it.
This seems to happen at time to time, doesn't it? Still no sign of an inmate who escaped from Western State Hospital earlier this week. If you're driving around right now and you're listening to us, when you get home or you stop wherever you park before you go to the store, go on your phone. Go on your computer when you get home. Go to mynorthwest.com because we got a photo up there of Joshua Dillon Rice. And if you see this person or you think you see this person, call 911, period. Don't stop. Just call 911. Don't do anything else. We also had a photo. I don't know if we can get a photo of him on the YouTube feed. Probably not right now. I didn't pre-produce this. It's on my X feed if producers hear that, if they can get it on time. But anyways, this guy's a dangerous man. And all you have to do to figure out that he is a dangerous man is ask Jeremiah Traxler, who says he was carjacked by Joshua Dillon Rice in a case that originally sent Rice to Western State. Listen to this.
He starts punching me in my face over and over and over and over. Sliced my thumb, the tendon's there, sliced this hand. I had to have surgery on both hands.
I mean, some severe injuries. Investigators say Rice climbed out of a window at Western State and jumped over a fence to escape. He's been facing charges like robbery, assault, and vehicle theft.
Let me ask you a question about this guy. I see in the headline of the story that they didn't notice he was missing. Is it for 12 hours?
That's right. Got to jump.
Listen, Spike and I solve a lot a detective cases
I know.
On the show. We solve a lot of crimes. And if I know anything, the first few hours of any case are vital.
Yeah,
you want to make sure, you want to check every hen house, and outhouse, just like Tommy Lee Jones said.
Absolutely right.
And you got to figure out which direction you might be going. 12 hours is a long time to run without anybody looking for you.
You can get really far.
You can get real far, especially if you have a history of trying to carjack.
Yeah. And that's the thing. He's 6 foot tall, slight build, 185 pounds, brown hair, greenish eyes, greenish brown eyes. Last seen with facial hair, last week, but we don't know. That's changeable.
The guy who he tried to carjack.
Yeah.
and then was cutting his hands.
Jeremiah,
Did this Josh Dillon Rice guy, did he have the knife to start with, or did Jeremiah have the knife? How did that play out?
Unclear to me, but it was certainly involved, and there was a struggle, obviously. How far can you get? Officials say that he has connections in Salmon Creek or North Bend, Oregon, not North Bend down I-90, but we're talking about Oregon. I think that's on the coast of Oregon. And this guy, how about this? If you're Jeremiah Traxler and, good for him for talking with KIRO 7 TV, but, he can't believe Rice is on the run.
I'm not afraid, but I'm glad that I know. That's probably what's going to happen here is they'll catch him when he hurts someone else.
Scared that he might hurt someone else, but he's out there, and he doesn't think he's coming after him again, but he's scared that he's out there and could hurt someone else.
This is what law enforcement are probably doing right now. I have a little clip from The Fugitive. Tommy Lee Jones, U.S. Marshals, making a search grid. This is what it would sound like if they're looking for they are looking for this guy. Obviously, he wants to be faster in 12 hours when they start, but this is probably what it sounds like.
Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. Our fugitive has been on the run for 90 minutes.
12 hours in this case.
Average foot speed over uneven ground, barring injury, is 4 miles an hour. That gives us a radius of 6 miles. What I want out of each and every one of you is a hard target search of every gas station, residence, warehouse, farmhouse, hen house, outhouse, or doghouse in that area. Checkpoints go up to 15 miles. Your fugitive's name is Dr. Richard Kimball.
All that's fictional. But obviously, they're trying to figure out, how do you find somebody who doesn't want to be found, who's been running for 12 hours? He's in a mental hospital, so you can have some idea about his mental state. And here's the other question.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not. Here's the other question about that. That's a horribly violent crime, trying to carjack somebody and then go at him with a knife and cut someone.
Right.
How did he end up at Western State? Why is he not in jail somewhere? They made an assessment that he was unable to stand trial. And they said, you need a psychological evaluation, so we're going to send you there instead.
So he has to go to a state hospital.
Okay, but then the reason we like jails is because when people are in jail, they're not out on the street. So if the alternative is that somebody's crazy and they go to a Western State hospital for evaluation and then they get out on the street, that's not a good alternative. So what do you do? How do you fix that problem?
There's
solve it.
Right. Well, there's that issue. We talked about it this morning as well. About obviously there needs to be some answers about the window. How is it?
Why are we getting? How are you able
windows? How are you able to access the window?
I'm not joking.
Why aren't these things bolted closed? What happened there?
Yeah, clearly this guy got a hold of something and used it as a tool, pried open the window.
I can't stay at a hotel in Seattle with an open window. How does he get an open window?
You can't. He smashed something, broke something, but how does he go? Bigger question is, how do you go 12 hours without detection?
Good point.
Getting out is one thing, but Tommy Lee Jones had 90 minutes. This guy's had 12 hours. That's that's 32-mile radius.
Yeah,
that's anywhere from
barring injury.
Yeah, barring
uneven
injury.
Ground.
There's so many people are in this range of where this guy could be today.
So,
and getting the information out is key. As you mentioned, we got this photo on My Northwest.
Yeah. But I would offer this as well. So, in normal jail escapes, prison escapes, I've covered these before as well, and I've had multiple law enforcement people tell me, and sometimes what they do is they just wait. Let's give it a couple days, because where do criminals go? They go where they are familiar, where they know. It's mom's house, or it's girlfriend's house, or you just wait there, and then they'll pop up.
The criminals are taking the path of least resistance.
Right.
That's what they do.
They'll pop up because they need resources and things like that. But this guy was in a psychiatric hospital, so who knows what's going through his mind.
His resources can be used as anybody he comes across.
Right. Think back to Travis Decker. We all thought, there were a lot of, supposed sightings of him but in that area. But it turns out he was right there, just at higher elevation in some really extreme terrain, right next to the crime scene where his 3 daughters were murdered. So who knows?
It's just a very scary thing for anybody in that area to think that this guy's out and about. You're heading out into your weekend. You got all these youth sports things that are happening now. Everybody's out. It's spring. Everybody's outside now. And then you got to worry about somebody who's shown a propensity for violence and doesn't want to get caught. That would make me very nervous.
James Lynch told me a story yesterday in the rest of the newsroom, and if he's listening to this and he can hear it because I'm looking at it right through the studio window, he should be telling the story. He told me and the others that he was outside of SPD headquarters. He had to go down there for a news show. He was in a car, and there was someone across the street. I presume was homeless, probably mental illness, was holding like a machete. And
across from SPD?
Yeah, it was just there on the street corner. And James used that moment to turn to me and say, hey, man, if you're ever, just a reminder, if you're ever on the street and you're working out of your car, which we do a lot of times, because lock it. Sit there in a locked car. Don't forget to lock it. And because you never know.
You know, that's the thing. Like, we had this story the other day about that guy who on the train tracks in Northgate. Remember?
Tried to shove a citizen onto the oncoming path of an oncoming train.
He had a previous arrest. He was deemed not fit to stand trial. He was sent to was it Western State? Was he also at Western State? He was also at Western State.
But at this point, he was at like a halfway
they
house
said
type
he's all good,
facility.
so they let him out.
Yeah, that's where he had strayed from for this.
So
assault.
I'm not super confident in what they're doing at Western State. If people are just breaking out 12 hours, they're not noticing, and then they're letting a guy go who's trying to shove somebody onto a light rail track. It doesn't give me a ton of confidence in the system. But we have these stories of them now, people with I'm not arguing the guy doesn't have mental problems, but you got to keep these people away from the rest of society if they're trying to cut them or carjack them or shove them in front of trains. Here's an interesting question for you guys. What do you think about this idea? Do you guys know what our laws are in Washington? I saw this posted somewhere the other day. I thought it was a very intriguing idea. We do stories all the time about how judges will give people multiple offenders, low bail or no bail.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll often say, like, well, we want to give them as many opportunities and yada, yada, turn their life around, all this stuff.
The former mayor said that he might have been hungry. I want to find out, why are you in a bad mood
100%.
today? Why are you having a bad day?
Yes. The Snickers proposition.
Knife-wielding crazy person. Why are you having a bad day?
Why are you having I wouldn't even think about arrest after 8 times. I wouldn't even think about it. They must be hungry.
I want to go upstream.
Upstream? Yeah. Which makes sense, actually. Local politicians wanting to swim upstream. That's a perfect analogy. But here's my question. So we have laws in Washington State. Bartenders in Washington State, for instance, if they overserve somebody, there's a law called the Dram Shop Law. Bartenders and employers face civil liability for injuries caused by intoxicated patrons if they overserve them and then they leave their establishment and get into a car, do things like that.
Yep.
Now, it's not a criminal thing that they would face. They're not going to get locked up for that, but they are open then to civil litigation, things like that. They are open. They are now liable for these things. So they treat it very seriously.
Right.
I mean, I think most of us
cause a problem. It's your help clean it up.
Why don't we do the same for judges? If you have a judge who's constantly turning somebody back out onto the streets, who's then constantly reoffending and hurting people, why don't you open them up to civil litigation?
Well, there is a process of review, right? Judicial review for how your cases went. If you've been light-handing sentences or giving multiple chances to repeat offenders during judicial review, that'll be brought up and assessed, and you could lose your status with the courts, I assume.
Sounds like you've done a lot more reading into it than I have. I don't know what the
well, you're speaking about the, civil liabilities.
Yes.
For judges who put the communities at risk.
Yes.
By giving these, I think
that's what I would like to see.
The process that's in place currently is the judge losing their inability to sit the bench.
I would be interested to see how many judges have actually lost their ability to be judges in Washington, because we have a lot of these stories.
Yeah.
And I never see stories about judges being removed.
That's a good point. I was just been thinking this whole time. That certainly would happen, a review process. I mean, and if you're an elected judge, I mean, obviously
that's an impeachment
the remedy
process,
would be,
right?
the remedy would be something like that. But why couldn't you? Look, I think I've talked to lawyers. I have lawyers in my family. They tell you can sue anyone for anything.
Well,
but you can file a lawsuit.
I like
what I'm
it.
saying. You can file a lawsuit, whether or not the lawsuit is
Spike
viable,
loves it,
but
I don't love it.
Why couldn't you sue a judge for penalties based on a ruling that led to you being or someone being injured or something like that?
Because then I think every judge looks at every single case and decides what sentence or judgment he's going to pass, with the fear of pending litigation over his head.
Good.
Well, I think they're good.
I want judges to rule even-handedly and without prejudice of fear of retaliation should this guy go sideways.
Not retaliation.
Well, I mean, not retaliation, but accountability. Well, I'm not. Fear of
accountability, yeah.
That's not how I want to frame
this.
Fear of
accountability is perfect.
A lawyer would probably also tell us, though, that there are guardrails within the law and there are remedies within that system. So, in other words, if it's an egregious sentence, then you have the right to appeal. Based on certain things.
There could be safeguards.
Or if it's not
I think accountability's got to be at the bottom line a good thing.
Haven't we always? So haven't we all seen cases where we go, why in the heck?
Yeah, sure.
Did they let that guy out?
We see him far too often.
Yeah. And I have to then say, like, for this recent guy who had a previous lockup for a previous arrest and trial, and then it was deemed a mistrial in a stabbing incident with his own sister, I believe.
And this is the guy who tried to push
This is the guy, and then he's sentenced to being watched.
Yeah.
They say, hey, look at he's shown up to snack time every day, so he gets to go to a lower facility. He then goes out and goes walking and tries to kill somebody. Allegedly, second-degree murder, so we're being charged with now on a light rail track. It sends shivers down all of our spines. Yeah. You can't even stand in front of a light rail track anymore without having to think about, like, hey, you know what? Don't have 2 earbuds in. You want to be aware. Stop looking at your phone when you're in public and put your back against something hard that they can't sneak up behind you. I don't want to live in a society like that, so why are they letting people out that are doing things like that? And if they're held to some sort of a civil liability, that feels like they're going to be a little more, they're going to scrutinize a little more in who they're willing to let out on the streets and shove onto train tracks. Just my opinion.
You know what? Along those lines, though, you know what people don't do there? I think they're too nervous. It helps. It helps because I'm 6'4". Jake, you're tall. Spike, you're a big. You're a muscular guy. I mean, it's a deterrent. But what if my wife is not 6'4" and she's so?
I look at Laura and I worry. I look at my kids.
But I do these things all the time, and I've had some self-defense training and stuff like that, kickboxing stuff. But you put yourself in a position to where if you think something's going on, and I've done this out there, where I will find a wall and I will walk to it and I will put my back to it and face. Yep. Now I've only got this amount of stuff that I've got to deal with. It's not behind me. And I've seen some guys look at me and then they went and then they walked on. I'm pretty sure they're going to mug me at an ATM. But my point is that I think a lot of people don't do that stuff. Like on that platform, not that this guy did anything wrong. He was just minding his own business on the platform. But because they feel like, I feel weird or awkward doing that. I don't know if I should do that. Do it. Just do it. Yeah. Take action before even if you think you're going to look silly doing something, you confront people.
Well, be vigilant in protecting yourself. Totally. Even if it puts you in a weird spot, it's going to put you in a safer spot. I 100% agree with you.
Well, it seems like we're already living in a culture that's required for our own personal safety.
Yeah.
Where we got to do that. And to your point, Jake, if you've got a judge who's giving multiple opportunities and lenient sentences, and that's increasing the risk factor for all the citizenry, then some accountability is probably not the worst thing to take a look at.
And I'm not saying it has to happen on the first case. I do think there is such a thing as grace, and I do think there are people who can turn their lives around. Like, we get a lot of cases where we see, kids come through court cases, and the kids are, they're caught stealing a car, drunk driving, whatever it might be, misdemeanor stuff. And they get, I know some of those aren't misdemeanors, but low-level stuff that they've made decisions that you don't necessarily want them to affect the rest of their life.
Sure.
So the judge says, hey, you know what? I'm going to let you walk on this one, and I'm going to send you back out there. I'm trusting you. But when that happens 2, 3, 4 times with the same people,
pattern.
The vast majority of crimes committed in Seattle, in every city, is by the same small percentage of people who keep getting out and doing the same things over and over again. And so, why not just say, hey, judge, on number 4, make it a baker's dozen, whatever it is. Like, if you have somebody who keeps getting out and then keeps repeat offending, at some point you got to call the judge's decision making into question.
We had a story last week about a guy with his 98th arrest. What, right?
I feel like on 75.
Yeah.
Call it 75.
75.
It's not unreasonable.
You could say
that's unreasonable.
A propensity to re-offend.
Whoever the judge is that let him out for the 97th time, give him open him up to civil liabilities.
We had a 3-strike rule for permanent incarceration, right? Can we have at least a 3-strike rule for giving guys another chance?
It's perfect.
Sentencing guidelines is one of those guardrail systems too, though. The more crimes you do, they're supposed to be, you're
supposed to get worse for you.
Yeah. I don't know. You should. Are you thinking about filing suit against the judge here?
I'm going to send this up.
I'll cover it as a reporter.
Yeah, I'm going to send it up the flagpole. See how it goes. See who likes it, and you can follow. Yeah, let's follow up on this.
Yeah, I'll report on it. And then we'll come in here and I'll report on it. I'll report on you reporting on the thing.
There you go. And then Spike can report on you reporting on me.
Totally.
And then
I'll counter. I'll just offer the counter argument.
Counter argument.
It's all good.
Counter report.
Sure.
All right, Luke Ducey, thank you for coming in.
Love
Appreciate
the show.
you coming
Thanks
in.
for having me.
Absolutely, man. We have a ton of stuff to get to. We didn't get to 1/10 of what we planned on starting the show with, which means that we're bad at planning things.
No, but it means we cared about the subject matter.
That's right.
And we had expert opinions. We had deep research.
100%. Stick around. We've got a ton more of that coming up.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
When was the last time someone reviewed your tax return looking for opportunity, not just accuracy? For most people, a tax return is something you file and forget. But what if it's actually a snapshot of decisions made, opportunities missed, and strategies waiting to be uncovered? At Madrona Financial and CPAs, your return isn't just paperwork, it's a roadmap. Brian Evans, CEO and host of Growing Your Wealth, is hosting a live workshop called Your Tax Return Treasure Hunt. In this interactive seminar, he'll walk you through the major schedules of your return, helping you identify missed planning opportunities and disconnects between your tax return and your long-term financial goals. Because your return already tells a story. To reserve your seat, visit madronafinancial.com or call 833-673-7373. And be sure to listen to Growing Your Wealth Saturdays at 9 a.m.
This is a paid advertisement. Investments involve risk. See full disclosures at madronafinancial.com.
Take me out to big trees. Take me to see the leaves. Privacy screens and evergreens. You already know they have thousands of trees.
Big Trees for tree sales and transplants. Find Big Trees in Snohomish or bigtreesupply.com.
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of zero down, zero payments, and zero interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
I'm here with Wes Jones of sellwithwes.com. And Wes, you were just telling me you think 2026 is going to be a rebound year for the housing market.
That's right. I think we're heading into the best real estate market of the past 4 years. And here's why. If you take a step back and look at the big picture, experts are anticipating a 15% increase in sales volume next year. Interest rates are at near 3-year lows and trending down, and home prices have held near all-time highs. There is a lot of pent-up demand. People have been sitting on the sidelines waiting for their time to jump into the market since 2022, and they need a place to buy.
So, hey, 2026 might be your year. If you're considering selling your home, if you're thinking about moving, but there was something that was just holding you back, now might be a great time. So do this. Go to sellwithwes.com. You can see your home's real value there with Wes's home value calculator. Then schedule an appointment by giving him a call. Sellwithwes.com. Sellwithwes.com. It really just is a better way to sell your home.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing. And no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. A University of Washington professor believes he was removed from a director position over comments about Israel and the Iran war. Dr. Arya Fani has been an outspoken critic of the war. KIRO News Radio interviewed him earlier this month.
It's just Groundhog Day in America. That's what it feels like. Every day, a new war, brand new excuses, and this time will be different.
Fani confirmed the termination and tells us he believes it was because of an email where he called Zionism cancerous. The university says personnel matters are private. A 25-year-old man is behind bars after he allegedly stabbed another man yesterday in the Cherry Hill neighborhood. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
Seattle police were called to the parking lot of the Spring Manor Community House Mental Health Agency for reports of an altercation and stabbing. When officers arrived, they found a 58-year-old man down with multiple stab wounds. SPD Detective Brian Pritchard says the suspect was located a short time later with what's described as a self-inflicted laceration to his hand.
Police transported the suspect to Harborview Medical Center, and after he was cleared, he was transported to King County Jail.
At last report, the victim was listed in critical condition. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
As gas prices continue to climb, more and more drivers are flocking to tribal gas stations. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha explains the tribes offer lower prices, sometimes up to 40 cents cheaper per gallon.
The cost difference for a gallon of regular is significant. At a Tahoma station in Fife, the cost, according to Gas Buddy, is at $4.80. Tulalip Market in Marysville rang up at $4.85. Angel of the Winds Fuel in Arlington tallies $4.69. Compare that to non-tribal stations, the state average, according to AAA, $5.37. And if you're looking to get diesel, it's even worse, nearly $6.74.
The Washington Policy Center says it's because tribes can receive a federal tax break on fuel and refunds on state gas taxes. Dozens of campsites and trails will be closed across the state due to cuts signed into law by Governor Bob Ferguson earlier this week. The State Department of Natural Resources warns that deep cuts will result in at least 19 recreation sites shutting down or cutting back, and scores of trails would see reduced maintenance. A spokesperson tells the Seattle Times the DNR is still finalizing that closure list. Others may see less maintenance or partial closures just as the spring and summer camping seasons start to ramp up. On Wall Street, mixed numbers rounding out the week. The Dow down 61, S&P 500 up 7, and the NASDAQ up 38. And now your KIRO News Radio traffic out in Gig Harbor. We've got a collision eastbound 16 at Wallachia Drive. It's in that left lane, and we have a solid 3-mile backup behind it. Westbound 520 at Montlake, your HOV lane is blocked by roadwork. Here in Seattle, North 5, we're still dealing with scattered backups approaching the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge. 20 to 25 minutes get you through this. And South 5, just a little crowded from Northgate through the U District, 20 minutes from Linwood into Seattle. And now check out your KIRO News Radio weather. Partly cloudy and 57 this afternoon. Warm temps continue through the weekend, mid to upper 60s by Sunday and partly sunny. 53 and cloudy in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. A lot of stuff to get to. We had planned on talking about this in the opening segment. We just didn't get to it because of our judge conversation. So that was a good one. Very interesting. Katie Wilson, there was a video going around of Katie Wilson. She was at an event recently where she was answering questions. When was
Town
this,
Hall,
Spike?
right? About 4 or 5 days ago, Town Hall?
Couple days ago.
Almost
Yes.
exactly a week ago.
Exactly a week ago.
March 27th, I believe.
The point of the discussion was security cameras, surveillance, and how they affect local Seattle communities. There was a news story recently. Katie Wilson said they're not going to expand any of the police cameras, right? Isn't that the new directives? They don't want to add any police cameras.
Yeah, they're going to not expand the surveillance. We've had other communities have said they're going to drop the flock cameras.
Yes.
I think it was, I just saw yesterday somebody's going to bring them back up. I think Stanwood's going to bring them back up online.
Stanwood is,
right? But
there have been other places that have...
Everett, Linwood, Spokane, Pierce County's not going to use them. And that is pertinent to interaction with federal immigration policy, which brings us to our story about Katie Wilson and what was covered.
The real-time crime center cameras is what it's talking about.
Okay.
All right, so this clip has been kind of going around, and we want to play it real fast. She was asked, well, what are you going to do about, because she has this, there was an executive order that basically says that police have to document
and report.
Observe,
document, and report.
Observe, document, and report, yeah. If officers are sent to a location where there is a ICE enforcement underway, they will document the activity with in-car and body-worn video, verify the identification of apparent federal agents, and secure the scene of potentially unlawful acts to gather evidence for prosecutors. This is one of her executive orders. I think this was back in January.
It was, yes.
So then at this town hall she was just having, she was asked about this. What do you do for the officers that are complying and working with the feds? If they come in and they're doing some ICE thing and are, Katie Wilson says you guys can't work with them in any way. They're not allowed to stage on city property.
Right. They put up signage. You're not allowed to stage on city-owned property or public property.
Yes. So what are you going to do to those officers? And this is her response.
We're working with the police department to make sure that officers are following the rules that we have sent down. And if they don't, then that's a problem.
Do you support firing cops who don't follow that executive order?
You mean firing cops who do what?
Who don't follow the law?
Yeah. Sure, yeah.
That are cooperating with ICE.
So she's saying firing cops don't cooperate. This got a lot of attention. A lot of people were, responding to this. Originally, when she made this, when she gave this executive order about what the SPD would do in response to these things. Again, this was in late January. The Seattle Police Officers Guild posted this. They said toothless virtue signaling rhetoric like this has already cost 2 people their lives. The concept of pitting 2 armed law enforcement agencies against each other is ludicrous and will not happen. I will not allow SPOG, Seattle Police Officers Guild members, to be used as political pawns. That was from Mike Solon, the SPOG president. What do you think about this, Spike? Do you think she's actually going to fire? Let's say a SPD officer responds to somebody who calls in a 911 and says, hey, somebody's being taken by federal agents, and shows up at the scene. It's very clearly a legal federal case. They're doing what they need to do, and SPD doesn't follow her executive order in documenting everything and following things. Should those officers then be fired? Do you think she will be actually firing them, or is this just like a political thing?
Well, I think that's. I don't know if that's the. Okay, just on its face, if there's a standard directive, and compliance with that directive, that's part of your job requirement. It's compliance with directives from your supervisors, from the policies of your department. Then yeah, if a cop doesn't want to obey the law or follow directives of the agency, yeah, how do you keep your job? Is cops get to decide what regulations they follow and don't follow? They get to decide what laws they follow and don't follow?
So the question then is, what's the process for her to fire these police officers? What's she going to do? And what's she going to list?
Right? There'll be a review board.
I hope so. Yeah.
She's not going to hang out in the street with a pair of binoculars and see a cop helping ICE officers out, which is against the directive of the
mayor. She gave an executive order. And she wants her executive orders followed, I imagine, just like nationally. Trump gives a lot of executive orders, and there's a lot of challenges to those. People say they shouldn't be doing those.
There should be. And if she's got an executive order that's deemed illegal, that'll be challenged and reviewed and overturned or upheld.
I would be genuinely surprised. This feels to me more like this feels to me like politics and less like something she would actually... I don't know of any cases yet where she's fired any police officers. And I'm just wondering if she would actually do that. If you think she would actually fire police officers,
I would hope so. If you're gonna issue a standard, if you're gonna institute a policy, and then say, look, if you don't follow the policy, there will be consequences. You'll be fired. I would hope she'd have the strength of courage of her convictions.
Sure.
To follow through on the commitment she's made.
Yeah.
To the law enforcement organizations following policy. People, different agencies, different law enforcement agencies. I'm not gonna. My guys aren't gonna wear masks. I don't care what the state law says. That's garbage. You don't get to decide what laws are. You're not the supreme commander. If you work for a municipality and the municipality has laws on the books or standards and procedures in the guidelines of doing your job, and you don't want to follow those, get out. See you later.
You'd rather they just get fired?
I'd rather you go. If you don't want to follow the law or follow the rules, what kind of community servant are you?
It's interesting because the laws were different. Well, again, this is an executive order, right? So it's not a full-on law. This is something that she's saying as mayor, and I'm in charge, so I'm going to have you do this.
That's a great question for Chief Barnes.
Yeah.
Can she, by executive order, dictate what the Seattle Police Department will and won't do with regard to cooperation with federal agencies?
That's my question.
Well, if she didn't have the power to do that as the city's chief executive, then that should have been a story from day one. That Chief Barnes says, Mayor's given us.
Well, Chief Barnes doesn't want to get fired. Well, that's it. He could get fired by her. She's in charge of his firing.
Yeah, but
I don't think she can fire cops, right?
I don't know. I imagine
that's a union job. It would be very. I can't imagine she'd be able to fire that.
Any
instance
so which would require in review and determination that they had decided not to take matters into their own hands, disregard guidelines. That's going to be reviewable, and union officers have union protections for reasons.
The tricky thing that I'm wondering though is she's now added an extra thing that they weren't doing 6 months ago. And she's saying, this is now law in Seattle. You're going to do this or it's your job. You heard her there. You're fired. You don't do this.
There's a statewide directive from the governor about, and states' rights supersede federal rights, federal laws, I should say, unless otherwise clearly described.
Yeah.
That's an enumerations clause, I believe it is.
Okay.
So if the state law says we are not in the business of enforcing with our resources federal immigration policy, which is what the sanctuary cities basically equates to. State law here is different than Idaho, is different than Virginia, as it should be. If the governor says this is the state law, and the mayor says in compliance with state law, our officers, our law enforcement community isn't going to help federal agents in the execution of their federal policies, that's state law. It's not her just writing
even if the
EO.
federal things are lawful, they just don't like them.
Well, it's not whether they don't like them or they're lawful. The state doesn't have the federal law doesn't have the right to dictate how states do certain things as per the Constitution.
I understand.
And that's what it boils down to. The federal government can't say, hey, Seattle cops, you've got to help ICE. Hey, Washington State Patrol, you've got to help ICE. Federal government can't do that.
I understand. What Spog was saying, what I'm interested in is Katie Wilson is now in a situation where she's saying, if you don't do exactly these things, you don't work against the federal government here lawfully, we're going to fire you. So if the federal government is here lawfully, and then she's saying, Seattle police officers, you're going to go in and we want you to start documenting everything and doing all these extra things that they weren't doing 6 months ago, when was this, January?
Just January, yeah.
4 months ago.
Yeah.
Your job is now on the line. You're going to get fired. And I'm just wondering how that process is actually going to play out.
Well, I imagine there are procedural requirements
Sure.
of any officer brought up for review.
Sure.
With allegations of misconduct or failure to comply, blah, 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 blah.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know if she's going to walk and say, you're fired. If you're not going to pull a Trump, you're fired.
Yeah.
I would think no one would think that she's got the right or ability to do that.
It's
I don't think she does.
It's just interesting in a town hall like that. She's pretty flippant about it. She says, I'll fire him.
The lady said, would you fire a cop for not following the law?
Yeah.
I think it's I'd be just as, it seems like a stupid question.
Really?
Would you fire a cop for not following the law? How do you say no to that?
I'm just the realities of telling a police officer you are now no longer allowed to be a cop because of a executive order that I gave.
Yeah.
It's still very fuzzy about what you're actually supposed to do and interfere in a federal investigation, a lawful one. I don't know how that holds up in court.
I'm not saying it will.
I don't know how that holds up in court. And she's not opening herself up to a lot of lawsuits. Somebody gets wrongfully terminated.
Yeah, she may very well be.
For not inserting themselves into a lawful federal investigation. I mean, that to me is like, I don't know how do you even defend that in court? And then you're opening the city up to massive lawsuits. I could be wrong about this. You and I are not lawyers.
No, I hear you. But we're talking about in particular instance with particular circumstances.
Yeah.
And they'll all be reviewed as they should.
Yep.
And guidelines will be upheld as they should.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
We got a lot more coming up. Should we talk when we get back? Do we have time to talk about this turning off of the cameras? do you think about this?
About which ones? The
like the cameras, the RTC. What is it? The RTCC cameras. Not expanding those. Law enforcement.
Sure, we can talk. Yeah, we can talk about that.
Let's talk a little bit about that because I do think it's really interesting. And we have a recent case where they were actually.
We had Tiger Woods scheduled. I'd rather talk about cop cameras than poor Tiger Woods' status in today's life.
Yeah, he's still Tiger Woods. Let's talk about these cameras.
Let's give him a.
All right, we'll do it when we come back. Stick around.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. We now have over 500 five-star online reviews. Bradley Johnson helped me out of a very difficult situation. Their professionalism and knowledge resulted in an outcome I wouldn't have thought possible. They were steady and reassuring, taking time to explain things clearly. They never rushed me, even when I had a million questions. In the end, they found a resolution I'm grateful for. They were a pleasure to work with. I was impressed with their knowledge and skill, ultimately winning my case. 10 out of 10. I would highly recommend. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or Google us to schedule your free private consultation. 5 stars means achieving your best possible outcome. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY. You could file your taxes on a basic free service, which is fine. But are you okay with fine? Because when it's your money on the line, do you really want to guess if you missed a credit or hope the math is right? Get the confidence of TurboTax for free right on the Intuit Credit Karma app. Free Fed and free state for simple 1040s only. Around 37% of filers qualify. See details at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for EITC, CTC, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal, book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Say goodbye to clogged gutters and climbing ladders. With K-Guard by Guardian, leaves stay out, water flows freely, and your home stays protected year-round. Enjoy true peace of mind. No maintenance and no rust. Choose from a variety of colors to match your home's look and boost your curb appeal. Ready for hassle-free gutters? Protect what matters most with Guardian, the original Make Your Roof Last company. Visit GuardianRoofing.com to learn more.
The deadline for filing taxes is coming up. Donate your car to Cars for Kids for a 2026 tax deduction. Go to carsforkids.org today. That's cars with a K.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. You've heard the saying, you are what you eat. Eggs are an incredible source of protein and omega-3s. But have you thought about what the hens eat to make healthier eggs? At Wilcox Farms, our hens enjoy organic pastures and a diet of organic grains and flaxseed, creating vibrant yolks, richer flavor, and real nutrition for your family. Next time you're at the store, choose Wilcox Eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
All right, welcome back to the show. Before the break, we were talking about Katie Wilson, mayor of Seattle. So she's going to fire police officers who don't comply with her executive order on ICE monitoring, which is interesting. She was also talking about in this town hall about these cameras. So she says she's shutting off these real-time crime center cameras. And we have a couple clips. Let me play you a little bit of this, Spike, and then get your reaction to this.
Please.
Because the question I would have is, does this make people more or less safe? More or less safe? And let's listen to this, and then we can discuss.
First, I am pausing
hot mic.
Expansion of this pilot until we have completed a privacy and data governance audit and taken significant steps to strengthen our policies. In the meantime, the RTCC will continue to operate and existing cameras will remain in place. There are two specific circumstances where I am making additional targeted decisions. First, given the unique nature of the upcoming World Cup and the current geopolitical situation, I have chosen to move forward with the installation of the cameras in the stadium district slated for this spring. However, they will not be turned on and will not be connected to the RTCC unless we are aware of a credible threat that warrants such action. And they will be turned off once that threat subsides.
Wait a minute. Oof. That's not good. That sounds like trying to have your cake and eat it too.
It really does. I'm in complete agreement
We're
with you.
We're going to install these cameras, but we're not going to turn them on.
Right. Well, you know the theory that if someone sees a camera, even if it's not working,
they
feel they're being watched and they act differently.
That's true.
But I don't think you want to count on that psychological phenomenon. You don't want to count on that for with regard to public safety.
She should require that they put a sign saying these cameras are not on.
Yeah.
So people feel comfy.
Yeah. If the light ain't lit, don't sweat it.
I hadn't heard that clip. That's kind of amazing that she would say, we're going to go ahead and put these up, but not turn them on unless we have a credible threat.
You can't count on forewarning of a credible threat. I mean, they do incredible work.
Yeah, but
there are incredible systems in place to keep us safe.
Yeah.
But, you don't.
The reason the officers wear police body cams, it's all after the fact.
It's the unexpected.
It's for the stuff after. It's documented.
Yeah.
It's so you can see clearly that what the criminal is doing, or if there's any wrongdoing on behalf of the police, which is far less than people thought it was. But if it's whatever, it gives a full account of the situation.
And it's most often, sadly, not to prevent crime, but to help solve a crime, and prevent future incidents.
So this is interesting because again, she's saying she's not going to shut down the ones that are currently up, but they're not going to expand, which I do think is a mistake because I do think they help in public areas where they know there's danger.
Yeah.
Seattle Police Officers Guild posted this. They said an attempted murder at Seattle Light Rail Station caught on camera, not by chance, not by luck, because investigators had options to public CCTV, the one she's talking about not expanding. From those cameras, police can track movement, build timelines, identify suspects in moments that would otherwise go cold. Now imagine this case without that footage. That's exactly what's at risk. I think they make a great point.
They do.
They got the guy who shoved the guy on the light rail station because they have a clear image of him doing it, and then they could follow those cameras literally back to the house where he was living.
So the mayor's initial statement there that they're going to shut off, they're going to stop expansion of these because they're going to address privacy and data security audits, right? They're going to have those.
Sounds like that's what she's saying.
Yeah, and I have no problem with that point of view as well.
Yeah,
I mean, privacy is important. The security of who gets information and where it goes and what they do with it, also a pretty important issue.
Yep.
So you've got to you're serving a couple different masters here.
Your expectations for privacy in a public space should not be high, and
Agreed.
Also
I think it's probably the more data sharing security that she's concerned with, and I'm glad that she has those concerns. A lot of citizens that she represents have those concerns.
Yeah,
but to your point, man, we're talking about the light rail now has got to get you from the international district to the ball games. I want cameras on that platform.
Give me more cameras. All right, we'll be right back.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Integrity Roofing and Construction is your trusted local roofing team. They offer, of course, free estimates, free video inspections, roof assessments, the whole nine. Go to integrityrc.com and check out the many, many, many wonderful glowing reviews. You can give them a call at 206-202-ROOF to book your free estimate, free inspection. Their skilled teams deliver incredible craftsmanship. The reputation speaks for itself. Don't let the stormy season, which is not over for us by any way, shape, or form, don't let it ruin your home. Give Integrity a call today, 206-202-ROOF, integrityrc.com.
The Mariners are celebrating 50 seasons with legendary events all year. On April 10th, Ichiro gets his statue outside T-Mobile Park, and the first 40,000 fans take home a replica, thanks to BDA, with 20 signed by Ichiro himself. On May 2nd, it's Randy Johnson's number retirement ceremony, presented by T-Mobile. And on August 8th, the top 50 greatest Mariners players are unveiled on 50 Seasons Celebration Night, presented by Daktronics. See the full schedule and get your tickets at mariners.com.
Insulation rebates from PSE are at historic highs. American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $3 million in PSE insulation rebates last year, more than any contractor in Washington. Homeowners, business owners, and PSE trust American Crawl Space and Pest Services. Was your home built before 1990? Visit AmericanCrawl.com to see how much you can save on replacing your insulation.
American Crawl, the heroes you call. Washington's lottery gives out a lot of green to winners in schools and retailers awesomely. Nearly 600 mil to people that play. Another 180 mil to vocational training and education from preschool to college. Now you got the knowledge, a win-win for all of us. Play Washington lottery, lottery, lottery. Play Washington lottery, lottery, yeah.
Visit WaLottery.com. Who benefits to learn more.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The total solutions advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. TurboTax helps you get your biggest refund, and then Credit Karma helps you do more with it. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. U.S. officials tell CBS News that Iranian forces are responsible for shooting down a U.S. fighter jet inside Iran's airspace. One crew member was rescued, and CBS's Cammie McCormick reports.
The fate of the second crew member is unknown, but verified video shows U.S. military aircraft flying over southwest Iran as an apparent search continues. Retired Navy fighter pilot Matthew Buckley.
They sprung into action. The HC-130 crews, the pararescue folks, they are some of the most elite military forces on this planet.
It's a delicate operation, he says.
Over 10,000 target sets hit. The fact that we haven't seen more of these is a testament to our military capability and the young men and women wearing the uniform out there on the tip of the spear.
According to CBS News national security analyst Aaron McLean.
This appears to have been an F-15E. This is an American fighter jet that also is a bomber over Iran in recent weeks. We can assume it's being used for so-called air-to-ground missions, so prosecuting targets on the ground.
Pope Leo is celebrating his first Easter season in traditional ways, but CBS's Chris Livesay reports the words of the American pontiff are more direct than his predecessors in matters of global issues.
This week, imploring world leaders and President Trump by name to find an off-ramp to the war in Iran.
Hopefully he's looking for a way to decrease the amount of violence, of bombing, which would be a significant contribution to removing the hatred that's being created and that's increasing constantly in the Middle East and elsewhere.
NASA says there is no need for a correction burn as the Orion spacecraft and the Artemis II crew stay on course. The U.S. economy added 178,000 jobs in March. That is well above expectations, and the unemployment rate ticked down slightly to 4.3%. According to CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
One area particular that was strong is healthcare. That's something that we've seen traditionally. And that, by the way, is why we saw such a big bounce back from February, because there was that Kaiser Permanente strike in healthcare, which really brought the February jobs number down.
Very windy weather. Even tornadoes are a possibility today for those in the country's midsection. CBS News meteorologist Jessica Birch.
That tornado outlook today highlights northern parts of Missouri and southern parts of Iowa. We're seeing a lot of gusty winds forecasted up to around 40 to 60 miles per hour. That also pushes over into Illinois, too. And those damaging winds stretch anywhere from Texas all the way up into the Ohio Valley.
There was no trading on Wall Street today due to Good Friday. This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
A prowler is caught on video, and deputies need your help identifying him. More on that straight ahead. But first, your KIRO News Radio traffic. Westbound 520 approaching Montlake. Your HOV lane remains blocked by roadwork. Really isn't affecting traffic flow right now. North 5 in Seattle, though, quite a different story. Scattered backups approaching the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge. 25 minutes now to make your way through downtown. South 5, you're going to slow a bit through the U District. South 405, scattered backups forming between Factoria and Renton. Out in Gig Harbor, we cleared our collision eastbound 16 at Wallachia Drive. It's on your right shoulder, but there's still a 3-mile stop and go backup starting near Burnham Drive. Tacoma to Olympia, we're pushing 50 minutes. 3-mile backup through JBLM, more slowing heading into Olympia. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Kitsap County deputies need your help identifying a man caught on surveillance video standing at the bedroom window of a 6-year-old girl. It happened just after 1:30 last Saturday morning at an apartment complex in Silverdale on Cloudy Peak Lane. Here's Kitsap County Sheriff's spokesman Kevin McCarty.
He is certainly prowling through the apartment complex in the very early morning hours, and then he stops to look in the window of a little girl and may have actually tried to open that window.
You can see pictures at mynorthwest.com. If you recognize him, call 911. A team of fourth graders from John Stanford International Elementary is celebrating a big win. They took home the Global Reading Challenge Championship trophy Tuesday night, the first time the school has won it in decades. The team calls themselves the Global Banana Nana Pancake Group. The 6 kids spent months reading and rereading 8 books and quizzing each other on all the details. They beat out 9 other Seattle Public Schools teams in the finals at the downtown Seattle Public Library. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson kicked off the evening, sharing how reading shaped her life. If you're driving through DuPont on I-5 the next couple of nights, prepare for a detour. KIRO 7 TV's Paula Tristan Aruda explains.
WashDOT is preparing to completely shut down I-5 in DuPont to replace an old bridge. Officials are encouraging people to plan on adding at least a half hour to your trip. Now, crews are going to be tearing down the old Stillicum-DuPont Road overpass near I-5 and Stillicum-DuPont Road.
WashDOT plans to close all lanes of the freeway from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. both tonight and tomorrow night. Still no sign of an inmate who escaped from Western State Hospital earlier this week. Police believe Joshua Dylan Rice apparently climbed out of his window and jumped the fence. It's unwelcome news for Jeremiah Traxler, who says he was carjacked by Rice in the case that sent the now fugitive to Western State originally.
He starts punching me in my face over and over and over and over.
Traxler tells KIRO 7 he can't believe Rice is on the run.
How do people just... how do you just walk away?
Police say Rice should be considered dangerous, and to call 911 if you see him. You can see his photo at mynorthwest.com. And now your KIRO News Radio weather. Partly sunny and a high around 57 this afternoon. Low 60s Saturday, upper 60s Sunday. We might see our first 70-degree day of the year on Monday. Partly cloudy and 53 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours left to go. Lots of great stuff to get to. 2 o'clock, we're going to do our Friday favorites, look back on our best stories of the week, ones that really made us love what we do. And you can text us anytime you want. If you guys feel like you want to make a suggestion on those, 888-973-5476, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. If there's a story you want to hear again or some amazing bit of audio that just made your week, that's what I'll be doing at 2 o'clock. I have one of those that I feel like I'm going to be playing on this show for years to come. And if you guys have any that you have suggestions on those, again, hit us up, 888-973-5476.
I got to tell you, I know which auto you picked, and it's the right choice. I saw it everywhere yesterday, nationally.
Yeah.
I mean, this...
It's low-hanging fruit.
If you missed any moment of the show this week, shame on you, first off.
Shame on you.
Don't miss 2 o'clock.
Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself, because you know what? You're only hurting yourself.
Right.
I tell this to my kids when they act out and they do stupid things. I say, you're not hurting me, buddy. You're only hurting yourself, because now you're in trouble. And I'm not gonna put the audience in timeout. I don't have the power to do that. But you are hurting yourself if you miss our 2 o'clock. So come back. All right. Did you see the story, Spike, about Albertsons? This is a crazy story. This keeps getting worse and worse. Albertsons has said that they're going to close down some additional stores. I didn't realize Albertsons was a Idaho-based company. Did you know that?
I didn't realize that was their headquarters.
Boise,
I
Idaho.
knew they were regional. They're in kind of a northwest, west coast regional grocer. And that's the way it is everywhere. If you live in the deep south,
sure,
you're a Piggly Wiggly guy. If you're in the east coast, you're A&P or at Acme.
If you're down in California, you might shop at a Ralph's.
Okay,
we
Ralph's.
don't have Ralph's up here.
No.
But that's they're all...
That's the neighborhood grocer.
Yeah.
And for us, it's Albertsons. But guess what, folks? Not for long.
They're going away. The Albertsons are going away. The company has closed 20 stores in 2025. We did a bunch of stories here locally. Albertsons and Kroger were trying to merge.
Right.
And Fred Meyer also has had to make all these closures. We talked about that, the vacancies.
Fred Meyer's the Kroger chain.
The Kroger
KFC
side
Fred
of
Meyer,
things.
yeah. And they were saying, look, we can't be competitive. We can't stay in. We can't afford to stay open unless we get this merger to help spread.
Who was it again? I swear, in the back of my head, there's a fuzzy part in the back of my head. I feel like there's a local connection to why these stores are all closing down regionally here. What was it? What?
There was a guy. There was a giant.
Guy.
It was an important job too, right? Like he was like the biggest lawyer we had, right?
You're right.
Yes, he was the guy.
Biggest something.
Yeah.
AG.
He was AG with average guy. No, that's not what it's.
No, you're right. It was the Attorney General. It was Bob Ferguson.
It was Turd Ferguson.
That's what it was.
And and I didn't really believe the chains when they said if we don't merge, because when the argument against letting them merge was it would eliminate competition, which
December 2024,
right?
The King County Superior Judge decided in favor of Ferguson, who had sued them in an antitrust case. He was saying this is going to make you a monopoly.
Yeah, and you'll be able to dictate pricing, and there won't be the competitive fight between grocers to lower prices.
It's interesting. I do think. Listen, I understand antitrust laws, and to some extent, I'm not a lawyer, but I do understand why in some cases.
Yeah, the intent behind them, sure.
However, I do think it's interesting with a guy like Bob Ferguson, whose track record about knowing business is so poor. He seems to me to be a guy now who, like, he has a track record of making decisions politically that are bad for business. They're good for him politically, and it benefits him, but they're bad for business.
I'm with you. He has not been business friendly either as an AG or as a governor.
Certainly not as a governor.
But he did spearhead numerous legal cases that benefited consumers and citizens in the state of Washington. To give credit where credit is due,
I think you're giving him too much credit.
I'm not saying he should be bronzed, and and
we
put outside the
him.
ballpark.
No, we shouldn't bronze him. I don't think he should be bronzed. What was Han Solo put in? Carbonite?
Carbonite. That's carbonite.
I'm not saying we should carbonite him either.
Well, no, that's a temporary thing. Maybe just until the economy cools down, we'll carbonite the governor.
Here's what.
Put the CCA on hold, right?
Listen, these are all just pie in the sky
Store
ideas.
them up in the Cloud City.
Here's
let Lando take care of them.
Here's what Ferguson was arguing. Look how bad this is aged. This is 2024.
Yeah,
December 10, 2024. King County Superior Court judge blocks the proposed $24.6 million merger between Kroger and Albertsons, siding with Attorney General Bob Ferguson of Washington. Now, this had national repercussions. It wasn't just in Washington State. He was very proud of this. This was something he was standing up there saying, hey, look what I did. I stopped them from becoming a company that can survive. He didn't say it that way, but that's what happened. And his arguments were, he said that it would create a near monopoly in Washington. He says if this goes through, this merger goes through, it will lead to higher prices and reduced choices for consumers. He also said the merger would eliminate the competition between the brands, impacting employee leverage and shopper options. Now, I would like you just to think about for a second what has happened in the wake of the merger not going through. All of the things that he predicted would happen if it did go through ended up happening because Kroger was saying at the time and Albertsons, they were saying, listen, if we don't merge in this new competitive marketplace where Amazon has a benefit, where Walmart has a benefit, all these massive grocers which can now just ship it right to your house.
Yeah.
They don't have to fight for shelf space. They don't have to fight for all these things. They do own those things. Amazon owns Whole Foods, so they do have a place that physically you can go into. But they can compete in a way that Albertsons and Kroger and...
Well, they have a market of scale, Amazon, Walmart, these monstrous organizations.
They are protected from the
you buy
ups
in bulk.
and downs of grocery business.
You insulate yourself when you buy in bulk and the market of scale.
Yeah.
And what this merger was seeking was a somewhat more level playing field, just to scale up to compete with these giants.
He said, if we can't get this in the next few years, we're going out of business. And Bob Ferguson, because he knows so much about business, said, no. You can't do it. Not on my watch. And then the exact thing that they said would happen has now happened. And 20 of 25 stores they've closed. They've closed down 20 stores in 2025, firing all these people. And I do think it's just worth, it is worth noting. This is a guy who doesn't understand business, and the political decisions that he makes, they're political decisions. They're not because they're better for business.
Well, to be fair, he feels they may be better for the citizenry, and he represents the citizenry. But you got to have an even representation of the businesses.
Doesn't citizenry want a place to shop and have jobs?
I'm with you. Yeah.
I mean, we can only judge somebody by their track record. And if you look at this guy's track record, then it's not one I'd want to be judged by. But I'll leave that up to the voters. They can decide those things. Here's something else I would never want to get involved in. Did you see this naked bike ride story? This is awful. This is an awful story.
Yeah.
One of the founders of the Bellingham Naked Bike Ride has been arrested in connection with child pornography. This is a really gross story. So if you have kids in the room, maybe tune us out for just a second. But it's
time for the wheels on the bus to go round and round for a few minutes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Send them out somewhere else. The Bellingham, who reported on this originally? I want to give them credit.
My Bellingham Now.
My Bellingham Now reported on this. A guy by the name of Zachary Robinson. He was a Robinson, 42. He was arrested and charged after police reportedly found explicit images of children on his laptop. According to Bellingham Now, his partner called police after she saw him viewing what she believed to be this, child pornography, which is awful. Robertson allegedly, according to the story, tried to delete the evidence, but police seized his laptop before he could do so. He reportedly told police that he was using the images as a reference for a children's book he wrote that included children running around naked. This is why I find this, I'm genuinely, I would love your opinion on this.
Sure.
You're putting a hand up like you're
not at all.
Okay. I'm
genuinely
confused by naked bike rides. I'm genuinely confused by anybody who wants to be naked in public.
Okay.
Every time I see them,
that's fair.
I'm like the Tim Allen book. Don't stand too close to a naked man.
You're a never nude.
I'm a never nude.
Are you a never nude?
Well, I'm not
in public.
I'm a never nude.
That's a periphery
around people who aren't my wife.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, clearly. How are the four boys doing?
Yes, I'm never nude around people who are not my wife. And I think that's a good rule of thumb. And so when they want to do these naked bike rides, I just go like, what is that?
Careful.
What do you mean careful?
Well, because I
question that.
Okay.
This guy just got arrested for having child porn.
No, this is where I go. Okay. I have been to several nude events over the course of my radio career.
Sure.
And it was in service of a radio promotions.
Yeah.
A promotion of a radio station.
I'm suspicious of that.
Well, okay. But having been exposed,
not you, but I mean the naked people.
Having been exposed to that culture,
yes.
if you'll allow me the pun, okay?
I will.
Having seen what I've seen and smelled what I've smelled.
You cannot unsee that.
People who enjoy nudity in various protected, safe environments.
Sure.
They're just regular folks who feel they really, really are. They feel a little more uninhibited. They lose some taboo hang-ups, if you will.
Let me ask you.
Have you experienced a naked bike ride through Fremont, part of the solstice?
Can I respond?
Oh, sure.
Appropriately?
Sure.
Heck no. I would never go to a naked bike ride.
Okay.
Where is it at?
Fremont.
The
solstice.
No, thank you.
Solstice parade.
Well, this is the same thing up in Bellingham.
There's a national naked bike ride movement. But here's my point about people who feel free to express themselves through nudity in public in organized event, not guys walking down the street in lewd and lascivious. It's a Tuesday, let's get naked in downtown Seattle. That's not appropriate.
Well, that's what a naked bike ride is.
Well, no, a naked bike ride is different because there's going to be an announced event. There'll be public nudity.
So they have
people who aren't comfortable with it. Don't come downtown.
So they're saying you shouldn't be out in public. We're going to make this a naked space.
We've got permission from the city. We've got a permit to do this
on public streets where children walk to be naked in front of children.
I've seen kids at the naked summer solstice bike ride.
I'm not arguing that some people aren't bad parents. What I'm saying is I don't understand why they would want to be naked around other people's kids.
That's cool. Well, because some people think that the human body is nothing to be ashamed of.
I'm not saying ashamed of it.
I'm not saying
I've seen a lot of people out there. They should be ashamed of some of these bodies.
It's never the folks you want to see naked.
Here's what I would say. I have no problem with people who want to be nude. I understand it.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm nude from time to time.
Sure.
It's a nice feeling when you're with the right company.
Sure.
But
it's a nice feeling when you're with perfect strangers.
Disagree. But
I've been there.
If you want,
if you should go once.
I would never in hell go and be naked with other people. I don't even like being clothed with most people. I understand.
And that's fair, brother. I'm not trying to say that it diminishes you in any way, shape, or form.
No, I know. I'm not worried about being diminished.
On the other side of the coin, though, someone who's comfortable with that and free with that and feel that they've lost their hang-ups about nudity, and I'm not saying you have one,
No, I do. No, I do have a hang-up
Okay.
about nudity.
Well,
I don't like it.
well,
I don't like you being naked in front of me.
Well, then, by the same token, the other side of that coin is, you should be okay with people who feel freer.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not. If you want to go be naked and you want to reserve a private space to go do that, God bless you. Go do that. You want to be weird? I'm not going to stop you from being weird. But if you want to be weird on public streets, where somebody who may not want to see a lot of naked old men walking around, but still has to go and do their job, that to me feels like it crosses a line.
Fair. But
Don't you think?
I wouldn't use the term weird.
Of course it's weird.
I'd say different.
Why? What is not weird? Do you want naked people just walking around all the time, or do you
that's what I'm
recognize
saying.
that that's a weird thing?
There's a time and a place for everything, right?
Weird.
And sometimes, like the summer solstice in Fremont, is the time and place for people to express their inhibitions.
The place is the important part of that word. The time and place for everything. There is a place for these things.
Sure.
Far away from everyone else.
On a private
thing.
At the Fraternity Snoqualmie, I don't know what they call it these days.
Where was the thing that you were at? The Naked
Nude Stock.
Festival?
Yeah, it was used to be called Fraternity Snoqualmie. It might be called something different today.
Is that on public streets or is that a private area?
No. It's a private area. It's a
totally
private club.
cool with
Sure.
that.
Yeah, and that's
totally
what we
cool
did.
With that.
But here's
Seattle
one point.
bike ride nakedness.
Yeah.
Gross.
No, well, fair enough. That's
and I think
and
99% of people
nothing but
think the
respect
same
for
thing.
people who feel that way, because a lot of people share that point of view.
I think everybody
But I do want to say this. I wouldn't. People who make the decision to be nude in public, to do whether it's a bike ride or park or whatnot, I don't want to ever cast all of them by the actions of this monster.
No, I'm not saying they're all looking
I'm
not saying they're all looking at child, porn.
Yeah, that's
but
what
I'm saying is,
Yeah,
I do question why that person wants to be naked. I don't think they're not wearing clothes because it's just for them. I do think there's a version where they want to walk around and they want to have other people see them naked. That's my opinion.
It may very well be.
And that's to me where I'm like, well, I don't get that. I don't get why somebody walking around naked, why we're all should be comfortable with that. If somebody decides they want to be a naked person walking around, I suddenly can't be in that space with my kid.
Well, yeah, that's valid.
That's a weird thing. Okay. If I saw a naked guy walking at me, my instinct is to go, that's a naked man.
Yeah, and
walk away from him.
I share that.
Like if I'm
going to a Kraken game, last thing I want to see is more Kraken than I bargained for.
100%.
Right?
Plus, it's very cold.
Right.
But my wife, if she's walking around in public and she sees a naked man coming at her, my advice to her is go the other direction.
Yeah.
Not let's celebrate that person really feels like they're not hung up.
Salute his open-mindedness.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a weirdness.
I got you.
That's how I feel about it. I don't think that makes me crazy. I think that makes naked people crazy. So strange. I don't get it. We live in a it's so interesting. We live in a very different kind of place in Washington.
You and I mean?
Just the fact that by virtue of the fact that we're in Washington. These are even things. We have naked bike rides.
Yeah.
Have you ever ridden a bike?
Yeah.
Naked?
No. I'll walk around.
I mean,
I'm not going to hop on a unicycle and force the issue.
Seems painful.
I would think.
What are they doing for that? How are they solving that problem?
Careful sorting, I think, is the key to comfort and success.
I don't get it, Spike.
That's fine.
I also want to live in a society where we can go, ugh, gross.
Yeah, you're free to.
Because there was a time in the last few years where you were like looked down on for expressing opinions that I feel are held by a vast majority of people, which is if I see naked people, we have an instinct in our heads that goes, what's that guy doing?
No, I think you're right about the vast majority.
There's a fight or flight thing that kicks in where I go, flight.
There were more people at the Seahawks victory parade than there were at the naked bike ride for a reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
And why does that person want to be naked around me? That's the only conversation I would have with them from a distance.
Maybe it's pride.
I'd say, why do you want to be naked around me?
Pride. He's a show off. What are you going to do?
Everything I know about pride.
Does body paint help at all?
No, thank you. No, thank you. Body paint doesn't count.
Because some people think it does.
No, it doesn't.
I know. I'm with you there, too.
Gross.
Yeah.
Gross.
Ugh. Laura, you've been eerily quiet during this segment.
Don't bring her on this.
You know what?
Fair enough. I apologize.
I recuse myself.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Well, we've run out of time talking about weird naked people.
I didn't mean to
no, I
belabor
think it was a
the
good
point.
Also, here, text line. I'm interested in this. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line.
Yeah.
Is it weird if somebody wants to be naked out in public?
In a scheduled nude event.
I don't think they should have those. I don't think they should have those.
Is it weird that the Fremont, in the city of Seattle,
yeah,
the summer solstice naked bike ride, the annual tradition, Is that weird?
Listen, there's a lot of traditions that are not good for society. That's one of them, I think. Nakedness in the public doesn't make any sense.
That's like an art event. I've been to the Fremont Solstice Parade a couple of times.
Laura chiming in now that she wants to defend nakedness. She's been for 23 minutes. You were quiet.
I'm defending the Fremont Arts Council. I'm defending the Fremont Arts Council.
What about all the kids around who have to see all of that disgusting nakedness?
Their parents are taking them. I saw kids in strollers. It's art. It's not. It's the human body.
And it's the human body is a beautiful thing.
Have you ever done like a nude model sketching thing in an art class?
That's different.
In college.
That's a private space where people are agreeing to be naked.
Through Titanic? Did you fast forward through the Jack and Rose scene?
No.
Okay.
That was in a private room.
Well, it was in a car.
Well, no, not the drawing.
Oh,
the drawing.
She was in her private room.
Like
he was drawing.
Yeah.
Was it up on the deck? Was it up on the deck of the ship?
He was sketching her just like one of his girls. Yeah, no, it wasn't in public. And if she had walked around naked in public, the correct response would have been, Rose, put your clothes on.
So art belongs in a museum, but not on the streets?
What do you mean a museum?
Or a private art is in private?
These are all private behind closed doors.
How about in a museum with nudes?
Again, it's a private space where you're walking into a museum. If I'm just in the city,
that's what I'm saying.
Somebody walks by me and they're naked,
but not on the streets.
Not on the streets.
Not an organized nude event.
Yes.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong.
I'm a crazy person because I don't want naked people on public areas.
No, you're the solid bedrock of morality.
Oh my gosh.
This show depends upon.
Isn't it crazy that we all work together? And that we
it's
so
wonderful.
Vastly different on
wonderful
issues.
It's crazy.
It's awesome. We're America microcosm right here.
Crazy.
You know, crazy isn't PC anymore.
It's odd.
We got to go. We got other stuff to get to.
You.
We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that could make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right, tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Charlie Harger here. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 206-210-1350. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
A bases clearing 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smoke!
Are you planning an event in 2026? Make it unforgettable at T-Mobile Park. Mariners suites and group tickets are perfect for any occasion. Fundraisers, school outings, work parties, family celebrations, and more. Enjoy customizable catering, flexible setups for 14 to 400 people, and epic game day views, all with the help of a dedicated Mariners rep. Get ahead and start planning your event today at mariners.com.
Kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, a well-insulated attic can be your home's secret weapon. Upgrading attic insulation is a cost-effective way to make your home more energy efficient. It also helps keep your home warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Better insulation equals better air quality, less moisture, and no mold, improving the air quality you and your family breathe. Call now for $300 off attic ceiling and ventilation, and visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Compassion, communication, results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. That's pendergastlaw.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. One American pilot has been rescued after their F-15 jet was shot down in Iran. A second crew member remains unaccounted for. Retired Navy fighter pilot Matthew Buckley.
From the instant this aircrew broadcast Mayday over the radio or the instant they pulled the ejection handles, friendly forces knew we had an aircraft down and we had aircrew in trouble.
Now the search continues for that missing airman. More from CBS News Pentagon reporter Eleanor Watson.
There appear to be refuelers and helicopters flying low to the ground, slowly looking for that second pilot. That is a dangerous mission. There are definitely Iranians shooting at fighter jets still, even though the Pentagon and the White House have said there's air superiority. That doesn't mean there's no risk.
An email criticizing the war and describing Zionism as cancerous may have led to the leadership change at the University of Washington. Dr. Arya Fani was the director of the university's Middle East Center at the time. KIRO News Radio spoke with Fani when the conflict began.
Because we're attacking a country of 95 million people with absolutely no stated objectives, no plan, no exit strategy.
Fani now confirms he was removed from his role as director but remains a faculty member. The university, meantime, declined to comment. Next time you need to fill up, you might want to consider buying from a tribal gas station. Prices are often cheaper there because tribes get both federal and state tax breaks on fuel. The Tulalip tribes, Tanya Burns tells KIRO 7 TV it gives them more purchasing power.
Smart buying, and we have flexibility and strong supplier relationships.
Now, the cost differences can be significant, sometimes 40 to 50 cents cheaper per gallon compared to non-tribal stations. Your Amazon order could soon become a bit more expensive, as we hear from CBS's Stacey Lynn.
The company says it will begin charging third-party sellers a 3.5% fuel surcharge, citing rising energy and shipping costs. Amazon says until now, it's been absorbing those higher prices, but will now tack it on for sellers. They may, in turn, pass that increase on to you, the customer.
Fee takes effect April 17th. Markets are closed today for Good Friday. And now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, Seattle Sports has the update. Northbound I-5 through Seattle. We've got those scattered backups approaching the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge. Excuse me, there's a nice clear patch there in the middle. 25 minutes to drive through downtown. South 5 is packed in Northgate. You'll begin to thin out, though, once you get into the U District. South 405, we're filling in between Factoria and Renton. Less than 20 minutes to travel between Bellevue and Renton. Out in Gig Harbor, we cleared a collision eastbound 16 at Wallachia Drive over a half hour ago. It's on your right shoulder, and traffic still slows at the scene. In fact, you'll start to slow back at Burnham Drive. Tacoma to Olympia, a 50-minute commute. You've got a 3-mile bumper-to-bumper backup through JBLM and more crowding between Lacey and Olympia. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Now to your forecast. We are looking at increasing sunshine today. Highs in the upper 50s, mostly cloudy tomorrow, and even warmer on Sunday. We'll see temperatures climb into the low to mid-60s this weekend. Right now, 52 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Our aim for this show, our goal every day is to find interesting conversations to have. Like, we got news stories, which we'll cover, but hopefully that sends us into a interesting direction of things to chat about. I saw this, Spike, and I thought this might have the potential to send us down an interesting road. This was a clip on The View. I don't know this lady's name, but she's one of the ladies on The View. And she was talking about, maybe you know it. No, you don't know it here. She was talking about kids and why people may or may not have kids at different times in life.
Okay.
Let me play this clip, and then we can chat about it. And this is kind of a parenting discussion that we can have.
It's just really reckless to be suggesting that people should have children when you now know in this country there's this affordability crisis, and for a two-person household, a married household, you need over $400,000 for childcare. Over $400,000. Most people don't make over $400,000.
Come on, that's ridiculous, but let's continue.
So she's advocating for people to be born into poverty, people not being able to feed those children, people not being able to educate those children, and people not being able...
Is this Sunny? Does
Yeah,
this sound like
yeah,
Sunny?
that's her. That's her.
Is it Sunny Houston?
Yes, it is.
Houston or Houston?
I think it's Houston.
Okay, Sunny.
I could be wrong. I'm not a big View.
We know the first name, though. It's Sunny for sure. Yeah.
To house those children at the same time when this government is cutting all of the services that would allow people to have families and big families.
And let's not forget $400,000 over the lifetime of the child, or what?
No.
A year?
It's
That's
a
like
year.
$1 million
It's an
almost.
annual income exceeding $400,000 to afford childcare. And I
Okay,
want to
that's gotta
add
be in New York.
that this, no, it's all over the country. According to lending.
Do they listen to what they're saying?
She cites her source, I think, right?
There could be no possible source that would ever say that has any credibility.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the case.
Would you just know it anecdotally?
Well,
Did you spend $400,000 a year on your kids?
No.
Okay, so you know
What
it's
am I,
not true.
Robin Banks?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know that's not possible. We'll finish the clip. You're right. Let's finish the clip. Then we can.
Tree analysis. And finally, this woman makes lending tree analysis. And finally,
Lending tree
this
analysis.
woman makes $10,000 per speaking engagement, between $5,000 and $10,000 per speaking engagement. Maybe she can afford to do it, but most people cannot.
But she's saying, but listen to what she's encouraging. She's saying don't have any thought about what you're doing. Yes, be thoughtful before you have a kid.
Correct.
You should be thoughtful before you have a kid.
Okay, so the number again. I hadn't heard the clip before we're playing it. I just had read about that they were discussing children, but they're talking about somebody who they're saying the child care costs $400,000 a year? Where,
Well,
on what planet are they?
That was such a short clip out of context. I don't think child care is $400K a year. I'm talking about feeding, caring for, medical care for a kid, medical. I don't know that number.
None of that's. It's not. It's not an eighth of that.
I get it. Well, you make do with what you have.
Yeah.
You live the life you can afford to live.
Of course.
Well, they're referring to a commentator at CPAC.
Okay.
Right. Her name's Isabel Brown. She's an influencer. She spoke at CTAC.
Sure.
And
CPAC, not
I'm saying CPAC, not CTAC.
She might
was at the
speak at
airport.
CTAC,
She
yeah.
said, "No, I don't have any gels over 4 inches or 4 ounces."
She was saying all this to a captive crowd stuck in the TSA line.
Well, she was saying, that you should have kids before you're ready, before you can afford them. You know, even if you think you're not ready, you should have kids. It's high time to have more kids than you can afford.
I agree with that.
Because that's how, well, she wanted to say that's how we get the political movement and the policies to save the country that we want. Because more kids mean they will trickle down to give us the policies that we need to save this country.
I mean, policies aside, I think it's bad advice to tell somebody to wait to have kids until you can afford kids. Because there's a dirty little secret about kids. You can never afford them.
Well, that's fair. You're right. But there have been many instances, excuse me.
No, you're good.
Where people were vilified because they were having kids they couldn't afford. You know, you're having these babies.
I'm not saying that you should have kids and then plan on having somebody else pay for them. I'm just saying
then we're talking about semantics because
no. No.
Well, sure you are.
Why would you have kids planning on somebody else paying for them?
Having kids you can't afford to, and count. It doesn't mean you're counting on someone else to pay for them. That's not what they're saying, right? I'm sure people have kids.
Yeah,
and you know, and some people wait till they can afford to have kids.
Sure.
Some people delay starting a family because they can't afford a home yet. So they don't have good jobs with insurance yet.
Sure.
They make responsible decisions to delay the start of a family. My kid's doing this, so you don't, you know.
No,
I know. So I'm not saying it's a real.
I can have my opinion.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, but it's a real concern and it's a valid concern for a lot of Americans.
What I'm saying.
So when this lady goes on TV and says, "Don't wait, be reckless, have kids you can't afford, have more kids than you can afford."
You added reckless. She didn't say reckless.
She did. Well,
you added reckless. She didn't say be reckless, did she? Was she saying
The View said reckless.
They
called her opinion reckless.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
What I'm saying is telling people that you're ever going to be fully ready for kids is a mistake because you're not.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly.
Also, like my mom gave me some really good advice one time. I was in love.
Mm-hmm.
I had met my wife, but we weren't yet married. Mm-hmm. But I knew that someday, if things worked out as I hoped that they would, that she would be my wife. And I was dragging my feet on asking her to marry me because I thought if I have my career figured out, I will be I would be a better prospect for her to say yes.
Okay.
And the life that we're going to lead as we start our life as a married couple will be like a movie. It'll be so much better if everything I have figured out.
You don't want to ask without being an attractive potential
I want to be a good
mate.
candidate. Yeah, I want to be the best I possibly be.
Nothing wrong with that.
And so my mom and my parents got married very young. My parents got married when my mom was 19. My dad was 20. They've been married for like 53 years now, something like that. And they still look very young. God bless them. My mom says to me, she says, hey, you know what would be a real shame is if you tried to wait till the perfect moment happens. She goes, which won't happen. And you miss out on all this wonderful time where you struggle together, which actually binds you closer together and you go through all these things.
Amen.
And she gave me that advice. And a week later I proposed. And it was the best decision that I ever made was asking my wife to be my wife. I wish I would have done it sooner. And I wish we would have started a family. So, I mean, we've got great kids and we got the great kids that we're supposed to have.
I hear you.
But this idea, like with the View ladies who have no connection to reality, and they're talking about you can't afford a kid with $400,000. I mean, to say something like that it costs $400,000 for childcare and stuff per year. Even Whoopi Goldberg says, Sonny, what are you nuts? That's crazy. Like nobody's paying $400,000 for childcare. What are you like at the most expensive schools in LA? Are you at like the very top of New York?
That's the thing. I mean, she asked her, are you talking about New York?
She goes, no, this is across America.
I wonder.
That makes that there's no wondering about it. I mean, you and I both have raised kids on less than that.
Yeah.
And so we know that that's not true. And you also, when you have kids, they force you to like step up. And
to make sacrifices and to not take that vacation and to get a few more years out of that car.
100%.
You betcha. And to add a little something extra in the casserole to make little chips to make it go a little further.
To make ends meet, to do everything you possibly can. And so
you're making coffee at the counter, not going to a store paying $7 a cup because you got priorities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for them to be saying that it's irresponsible to have kids because of finances that are less than $400,000 is obviously that's ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's also reckless to have kids that you can't care for. I think we would both agree with that. Expecting someone else to pay for them, that's pretty irresponsible.
Yeah, I don't think you should go into it thinking this is going to be my way of signing up for whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to lead to your happiness. But overall, kids are an unbelievable addition, a total plus.
Oh, yes. Oh, nothing but upside.
Even though
you don't
they're
have
very
teenagers
expensive.
yet, do you? Yeah. Talk to me in 10 years.
Come back to me in 3 years.
No, you know what's funny? You feel the way you do when your kids are young. Then they turn into teenagers and you wonder, what the hell are we thinking?
Yeah.
And then they come back. And at the end of the day, like your mom said, it's never a bad idea.
Just go for it.
To fall in love, start a family, and raise a family.
Yeah. Also, you're never going to get that time back. That's the other thing.
Amen.
You will never get that time back, and you don't know how much time you have. And every single day, month, year that you put it off is time that you're not going to have with that kid on the backside of things.
Right on.
So be reckless. Do it. All right. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Folks, give my friends at Integrity Roofing and Construction a call today at 206-202-ROOF. Trusted local roofing company, years of experience. They offer free estimates. They'll keep your home leak-free and protected from the northwest weather. Visit IntegrityRC.com to schedule a free roof assessment or video inspection today. They've got incredible reviews all on their website. You can see examples of their work. Great guys who do great work. 206-202-ROOF's the phone number. You can check them out online at IntegrityRC.com. That's IntegrityRC.com.
Progressive knows that for business owners, vacations hit different. But hey, at least you finally took a vacation. And look at that. You only answered 53 calls, 84 emails, onboarded one new hire, and covered for Chris while he's out on paternity leave, and you did it all from a kayak. Because you, my friend, know how to relax. All right, you may not know how to take a day off, but you do know both your personal and business auto insurance needs can be covered in one place with Progressive. So at least that's relaxing, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Owie, wowie!
What's with the
water heater's worn out?
Way less hot water?
Takes a lot longer, too.
Sounds like a goner.
Worst of all,
what?
Wasn't planning on it.
We can help.
Apollo Plumbing.
Ready right now to get you
in hot water.
Same day.
Not this day. My budget.
How about with easy payments?
How much easy?
Around $50 a month with approved credit.
A new water heater?
50 gallons of 100% hot water delight.
For about $50 a month.
51, 52 to be precise.
And you can do it
today, if that's what you need.
Is it ever?
Apollo installs new ones with code upgrades.
Can't beat that.
Actually, I can.
What?
Your same-day water heater replacement includes Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Which means?
Apollo Plumbing covers your new water heater for life.
You mean should it ever wear out?
Apollo Plumbing replaces it free.
And if it needs service?
Service is included for our A-list members.
Wow!
Your new water heater is ready
right now
at ApolloPlumbing.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to talk to you about the importance of when you hire a lawyer. Some people delay, and that's a mistake. Here's why. When you go before the judge at your first appearance, bail is usually set.
Order in the court.
It may be the only chance you have to address that bail. You're going to want aggressive counsel, arguing for the lowest amount possible, or release with no bail at all. You want someone who knows you, a private lawyer who's going to fight. 1-800-DUI-AWAY. way. If your bail is set too high, you may be stuck in jail, or you may have to pay an expensive bail bondsman. When you're out, you need a trustworthy lawyer that can help put this whole ordeal behind you. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com to schedule your free consultation for any criminal offense. You wouldn't go into surgery without a doctor.
Scalpel.
So don't go without 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY!
Hey, Dad, have you heard the news from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services?
No, I haven't.
Eggs have climbed higher than ever on the new food pyramid, and that's great news for anyone who loves starting the day strong.
Well, at Wilcox Family Farms, we make it easy with our ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs. They're delicious, protein-packed snack you can grab on the go. Now ranked higher than ever.
Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File today the easy way in the Credit Karma app.
Everyday students stay after school for sports, clubs, and tutoring, many on empty stomachs. Safeway and Champions of Change offer grants for after-school meal programs. Schools must apply by April 8th at championsofchangefoundation.org and click Nourishing Champions.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. Let's stick with the parenting topic for just a couple more minutes. This is good parenting right here. This was in Baltimore. This is in your neck of the woods. You recognize this place?
Oh, Catonsville, you bet.
Yeah.
West Balmer.
West Balmer?
Yeah, West Balmer, hon. Down in the west side.
A woman.
We'll pass the Jones Falls Expressway.
How far away is that from like where the Orioles play?
O's play downtown. This is it's if the clock's 9, if it's clock, the city of Baltimore with a beltway around it.
Yep.
Catonsville's at 9 o'clock. O's play down at 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Down there at Camden Yards, hon. Man, it's funny. My daughter's taking my daughter's in the theater. Excuse me, my son. Pardon me, my son's in the theater. Taking a dialect class. And has been grilling me about the Baltimore accent.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
So you're getting a lot of Baltimore practice right now.
I'm getting a lot of Balmer.
I've been noticing you've been talking more a little Balmer.
So
you've been doing it at home.
Yeah.
And then now you've been doing it on the show.
And my kid called like all my relatives back in Balmer.
Yeah.
And is spending time with my aunts and cousins. And,
yeah, just trying to soak in that dialect.
Yeah. They're going down the ocean this weekend. Yeah, it's going to be nice. Car show in the boards. Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. Anywho.
Listen, this is just good parenting. Listen to this. A young man who is suffering through some sort of an addiction. I believe it's alcohol, but
yep.
He goes up to like one of these food trucks.
Mm-hmm.
He robs the guy, takes money out of the tip jar, and runs off.
Yeah, soda pop shop.
Yes.
Yep.
The mom then shows up, having found out that her son did this, and she wants to repay the guy. And the guy's sitting there. Listen to this. The mom is apologizing, and it's all caught on the camera of the little food truck. Listen to this. It's pretty amazing.
A little while ago, a young man came to your stand and took money out of the tip jar. I'm his mother.
Oh!
How much did he take from you?
Like something I couldn't pay attention, like 20.
What do you think he took from you?
I see the first, I couldn't see the second is...
How much do you think he took from you?
About $30, I think. But you don't need to pay.
No, I'm gonna pay it. Because my son wasn't raised like that.
Why he is doing that? I don't want to ask, but...
No. Listen to me. My son wasn't raised like that. My son drinks, and when he drinks, he does stupid stuff. I want to pay you back because you don't deserve to be stolen from. You're here to do a service. I appreciate it. He took it from your tip jar. $30 go back to your tip jar. God bless you.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
It's okay. I'm
sorry.
I put my son in treatment. I pray he stay and get some help. But I want you to be okay.
Can I come and hug?
Of course.
Yes. You know, I am live streaming. People like sharing everything everywhere. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Listen to that
okay,
Balmer
guys,
accent.
let me hug.
You want me to hug you?
I'm sorry. You know, I like to.
It's called a Balmer accent.
I can tell he was born and raised in Balmer, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Come here. Come here, guys. Look.
Yeah.
You're my mom too. You know.
Yes.
Yes.
I want you to be okay.
Please, I always love peace, respect, love. That's what I always
you do
say.
a good
I am
service.
That's a good mom.
Oh my gosh, so sweet.
That's a good mom, man.
Thank you. Good night, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Just goes to show you, no matter how you can do all the work as a parent, kids are still going to stumble and fall. Mm-hmm. But she went there. I put him in rehab.
You never stop being a parent.
I put him in treatment. I'm paying back the money he stole from you.
And how sweet too. That guy probably. I'm sure that's not the first time that somebody's robbed him.
Yeah.
He probably has tips taken now and again.
The video's got over 5 million views, I think, by now.
Yeah.
As it should. The tip bucket is sitting right there on the counter.
It's right there. It's where people put tips. I mean, that's that's the risk you have of asking for tips. Is somebody else could just grab it. But what's really sweet is when she says, "I want to pay you back," and he says, "You don't have to do that." I mean, you can tell he's like, "Listen, people make mistakes," but she has covered his debt. I mean, she's saying, you don't deserve that. I didn't raise him that way. And then the guy, it's totally resolved now. He's not going to, I don't know if charges were pressed or if he even talked about it.
She didn't know who the guy was.
He now in his head, he's thinking positive thoughts about that kid now because his mom interceded on his behalf.
Yeah.
And now he wants that kid to be successful. I bet you in a year, if that kid comes out of rehab or whatever and wants a job, I bet you this guy would hire him.
Probably so.
Because of the family that he comes from.
You see what he's right. Yeah. Exactly.
It's very sweet.
The parenting.
Very good parenting. Good parenting. God bless that mom. That's amazing. All right. We got a lot more coming up. We're going to do Friday favorites next. So you can still suggest things to us if you'd like to. Muckleshoot Shoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476.
I like the fan favorite idea.
That's fun.
We started doing this a couple weeks ago. I like this.
Yep. We'll try to get them in there. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Congratulations to KIRO Newsradio's Charlie Harger and digital content producer Patrick Janasek, nominated for a Northwest Emmy Award for investigative reporting.
It began with a question from the community. It seemed almost too stunning to be true.
KIRO Newsradio is honored to be the only radio station nominated for the prestigious Emmy Award as part of our commitment to impactful storytelling across every platform, reaching into the communities we serve. On KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco bill, and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we know the key to a long-lasting roof is yearly maintenance. Need an inspection, repair, restoration, moss removal, or just a cleanup? You can trust Guardian's licensed, insured, and expertly trained team. We offer free estimates, second opinions, and financing, giving you the peace of mind your home deserves. Call today. Our first-time customers can save $99 on our award-winning roof repair and cleaning service. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Several loud explosions have been heard by reporters in Tehran. Iran's Fars news agency said air defenses were activated in the capital, and this after a U.S. fighter jet went down over Iran earlier today. CBS's Natalie Brand reports.
CBS News has confirmed U.S. forces rescued one of the two crew members of an F-15 that went down over Iran. Social media video showed two Black Hawk helicopters and a C-130 in what appeared to be part of the effort.
Operating low and pretty slow in broad daylight over Iran, looking for this downed aircrew. It's the kind of thing you would only do in a situation where you were willing to assume extraordinary risk because your objective is so important, namely saving some lives here.
That's CBS News national security analyst Aaron McLean. The White House has released details of President Trump's 2027 budget. He wants $1.5 trillion in defense spending. CBS's Weijia Zhang.
It was always his intention to beef up the U.S. military even more. Separate from that, the president does plan to ask for roughly $200 billion in a supplemental request to Congress, not only for Iran, but to replenish all of the supplies and stockpiles that have been used not only in that war, but others as well.
CBS's Stacey Lynn with more on the better-than-expected March jobs report.
178,000 jobs were added last month, heavy in the healthcare sector, but not only that, says Bank of America's Joe Quinlan.
Spreading out into manufacturing, construction, the good side of the economy.
There's also good news when it comes to unemployment.
Unemployment rate fell 4.3%. That's a very good number overall.
And he says no one's really talking recession right now.
In general, the consumers are spending, companies are investing, we're exporting more.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee says of the economy and inflation.
I believed rates could come down even multiple times in 2026. I was just uneasy with front-loading rate cuts before we've actually seen the inflation rate starting to come down.
On day 3 of the Artemis 2 moon mission, the Orion is on track, and Mission Control's message to the crew.
The burn was so small and our trajectory is so precise. After the translunar injection burn yesterday at 6:49 p.m. Central Time, there is simply not a need for that OTC-1 burn today.
The lunar flyby is scheduled for Monday. Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito, as first reported by CNN, was treated for dehydration after falling ill at an event in Philadelphia on March 20th. The court's public information office says he agreed to see a doctor before going home. This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world. I'm Tony. There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers. How are you? I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
Coming up, deputies in Silverdale looking for a man seen peeking inside a child's bedroom. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, let's start here in downtown Seattle. Northbound I-5, scattered backups approaching the West Seattle Bridge through the Ship Canal Bridge. There is a nice clear patch through the heart of downtown. Altogether, 25, maybe 30 minutes at the most to get through this. South 5, we're slow from Northgate down to Mercer, Linwood to Seattle, right around a 20-minute commute. Southbound 405, we've got building volumes between I-90 and Renton. A 20-minute trip still between Bellevue and Renton. I'm seeing building volumes right now westbound on the Mukilteo Speedway between Highway 99 and the Mukilteo Ferry Terminal. Nothing too heavy yet, but this will probably continue to get heavy throughout the afternoon as folks are getting out of town for spring break. Tacoma to Olympia, we're pushing 50 minutes. 3-mile thick backup through JBLM. More slowing between Lacey and Olympia. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Kitsap County deputies need your help in identifying a man suspected of looking into a young girl's bedroom window in Silverdale. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
Grainy images of the man were captured on surveillance video just after 1:30 last Saturday morning at an apartment complex at 12155 Cloudy Peak Lane. Kitsap County Sheriff spokesman Kevin McCarty says the man's intentions are unknown, but suspicious.
He stopped at a ground floor apartment, knelt down, and was peeking into the window of a 6-year-old girl. It's not clear at this point if he was looking in the window or trying to open the window.
You can see the photos at mynorthwest.com. If you recognize the man, call 911. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Multi-agency sweep in Port Arthur led to 10 arrests. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi reports.
Kitsap County Sheriff's deputies, detectives, and SWAT officers served warrants at several homes, RVs, and vehicles. Authorities say all 10 people were wanted on outstanding warrants from Kitsap and Jefferson counties or the Department of Corrections.
No word yet what kind of charges might be filed. In Tacoma, one person died after an apartment fire happened just before 8 o'clock this morning. First responders say the fire apparently started in a third-floor apartment and damaged 2 others. No word yet on what caused it. More canine carcasses have washed up on a beach and riverbank in Skagit County. It started last Thursday with a call about a few bodies that washed ashore on Guimas Island. Chief Olivia Cole with Skagit County Fire says the count is now up to 20.
Fighting back tears and anger and all of the above. It's there's a diabolical person out there for sure that we need to find what's going on.
Investigators telling KIRO 7 TV they are not sure if these are family dogs, coyotes, or wolves. If you know anything, call the Skagit County Sheriff. And dozens of campsites and trails are closing across the state. This is due to cuts signed into law by Governor Bob Ferguson earlier this week. State Department of Natural Resources says it is still finalizing the closure lists, but the cuts will result in at least 19 recreation sites shutting down. To your forecast now, looking at drying conditions this afternoon and plenty of sunshine today and for the weekend. Temperatures will be in the low to mid 60s. Right now, 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. We're going to get to Friday favorites in just a second. This story is not one of my favorites, but I do feel like we need to talk about it for just a second. How is this not on our radar at all? This dog story that Aaron was just talking about. Aaron, you're still here. Get back on the microphone.
Yeah, sure.
So, 21 dead canine bodies.
We're seeing at least 20 dead canines. There's some pretty graphic details as well that are coming out. The Times is now reporting that some of these dogs were found, and this is disturbing. This is not going to be easy to hear, but some were found skinned.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry, but missing some parts and even potentially some, rope or twine.
wrapped around these
these
animals. And this is again, this is near Guimas Island.
Island.
Several of the bodies apparently washed ashore last week. That's when the first call came in, and now the count is up to 20 dead canines.
So this is 80 miles north of Seattle, and Skagit County Sheriff's Department are, obviously the ones investigating this. What an insane story!
Yeah.
That's really unbelievable. I was just reading this little clip here too about this. The island, 8 miles long. I don't know where this is. Have you ever been out of this island?
It's on your way to the San Juans. Your ferry will go right past it if you're going.
But it's not like a main stop that is probably.
I don't think it's
a
a main stop. I think I correct me if I'm wrong on the text line. I think it might be one that you have to take your own boat to.
Yeah, this is a 5-minute boat ride from Anacortes. Okay. I've been to Anacortes many times, but I've never been to Guimas Island.
The ferries don't stop at Guimas.
Listen to this. This is a weird part of the story. The island used to have a now extinct Salish woolly dogs once used to live there. And the nickname of the island was called Dog Island. And now you have all these canines that are washing up there. I mean, this really is like the headline of this piece that I'm reading here. I just pulled this up. This is on NBC News. And it says, horror movie, 21 dead canines mysteriously wash ashore on Washington State Island. And they say, the start of it says basically this is like the start of a horror movie. That is a crazy story. Oh, my goodness. All right, we'll keep you updated on that.
Yeah, hopefully law enforcement figures out what's going on quickly and puts an end to whomever is behind this.
Can you imagine having to investigate something like this? Like, where would you even start? I mean, it's got to be, you're probably looking at, I don't know, there's a whole lot. this feels to me like a Netflix show or something. I mean, like I mean, I don't mean to be morbid, but I am just fascinated by the investigation process and how you look into something like this.
Where do you start? Who do you talk to?
I mean, if a single dog washes up, you just go, okay, well, that's horrible. Clearly a dog drowned doing something and then is washed up. But 21, it feels like somebody's trying to send a message.
I mean, ocean currents are something to think about too, especially in that area. The currents are really strong around the San Juans. I remember a few years ago do you guys remember when the foot washed up on an island up there?
Yes, I do.
There was many feet.
Yeah, more than 1 foot.
And I believe they were all the same foot. They were
or
all
from
like
the same person.
No, they were all left foot. It's a
that's
phenomenon.
Right.
They were all like left foot in shoes. And then they were trying to say like and some of the thinking behind this was, people can look this up and correct me if I'm wrong, but my memory is the investigation into still unexplained was that those feet had stayed afloat because of the material of the shoe.
The shoes, yeah.
They kept it afloat, and the fact that they were all like a similar foot is because they got caught in a current in a specific way because they were left feet or something. I mean, just very strange stuff.
The ocean is weird. I think that's what I'm trying to say by bringing up the foot story.
Yeah.
The ocean is very spooky and weird, and
that is spooky and
oddly
weird.
Predictable as well.
Also, where you would think if somebody was out there taking dogs, 21 for them to find 21 dogs.
Well, it's got to be a breeder.
Where are the dogs coming from?
Someone doing something illegal.
Somebody would have reported 21 missing dogs.
Yeah, the families have lost dogs. I'm sure the police are on top of all this.
And you're right. And the currents. I think about they're having to figure out like, all right, what are all the currents doing? Where could the dogs even be coming from? Are there any boats in the area recently? How do they track those? Because that's a pretty busy.
How do you even start? Yeah, it's a massive waterway.
Oh my gosh. Sorry to dig into this like this, just live, but as he's saying it, I had not heard of it yet.
No, I mean, I know it's a shocking story, and
it's a tiny island. There's 600 people on that island.
Yeah,
I guarantee you that is the only thing that they're talking about right now on Guaymas Island is this dog story. And then the other thing you got to think about too, I forget which other story it was.
Do we have to?
I don't mean too much, but it is oddly fascinating. On a tiny island like that, what was the case? Do you guys remember that story? I feel like it was one of the San Juan Islands, but there was a case about somebody had been, there was a crime on one of these islands, and it was one of these little tiny islands where there's only so many people.
Yeah.
And everybody knows each other. And just to think of the dynamic where you have 600 people, it's very easy to recognize almost everyone on an island that size.
And you know who the weird ones are.
You know the families. Yeah. You know who the weird ones are.
Yeah.
By virtue of the fact that you're living on a tiny, isolated island, it says something about what you're choosing to do in life.
Yep, absolutely.
And so all of that, what a weird story. We got to follow up on this on Monday. Should we get into Friday favorites?
Please.
Shake this one off.
I know this story is just breaking your heart, Spike, isn't it?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I'm going to go hug my dog when we're done today.
Golly, what a crazy story. I'm just reading more about it right now. No, we got to move on.
Yeah, let me bring you back, buddy.
It's too dark.
Let me bring you back to my Friday favorite of the week. Can I start?
You start.
Okay, can I start? Early in the week, Jake brought a story to the show about a national food franchise chain who's got a new policy that they implemented. It's Chick-fil-A, and then now the Chick-fil-A cell phone coops. An owner of just 2 of the franchises, they're all independent franchisees. An owner of a couple of franchises decided that he wanted to return families to the reason that you go out to dine, to spend time together as a family. He looked at it as restaurant's customer base and saw people enjoying their food but staring at their screens. People sitting at a table together, families, and not even talking. And he said, you know what? I'm going to put these. He built a chicken coop, a little box, a cell phone coop, put it on the table, and said, for families who put their cell phones in the coop while they're enjoying dinner, if you don't reach for your cell phone, you get free ice cream. The idea has taken off, not just his 2 restaurants, but now hundreds of Chick-fil-A's around the country are adopting this.
Isn't that cool?
It's fantastic. And we predicted it earlier when you brought the story earlier in the week that I guarantee you at some point in the very near future, it's going to be a company-wide policy for all of Chick-fil-A's national restaurants. You're going to see one of these TV commercials that they love running where they use real stories from real employees and real customers, and this is going to be featured, and then it's going to be copied through other franchises of other food around the country.
That's the other cool thing about it, too, is we recently saw the the burger CEOs who were all eating their products.
Right. It started with the McArch.
Yes.
And then Wendy's bagged on them and Burger King bagged on them.
It was a viral thing that everybody was doing. Yeah. I love the idea that something like this, which is so positive, is the thing that becomes what everybody does.
Yes.
How do you take the experience of dining in one of these restaurants? And I've only recently, I've driven through it a bunch, but I've only recently actually gone in to eat in a Chick-fil-A. It's a fantastic experience.
It is.
Super clean. Yep. Everybody's nice. Everybody calls me sir, which I like.
All about customer service.
Smiles, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And they're closed on Sundays.
Yep.
They're like putting the profit aside, and they're saying we value, because they're, like a religious type of a restaurant. But
they value connection of people.
Yes.
This wasn't about, win a free Sunday, blah, 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 blah. It wasn't about
They're not
marketing.
trying to get customers in the door.
No, they're trying to get customers into each other.
Yes.
They're trying to get families connected.
Yeah, it's cool.
So it's It's a great story, and I loved seeing it this week, so it was my easy choice.
It is a good
Friday
story.
favorites.
Yeah, I like that one. All right, that's better than the dog story. That makes me feel happy. All right, Laura, what's your story this week? What do you like?
Also better than the dog story, although it's kind of a low bar. I loved that TMZ is looking at members of Congress and soliciting pap photos from the public of all of the members of Congress on vacation while we are entering past 50 days of a partial government
It's like
shutdown.
7 weeks now, something like that.
Yep. And this is the clip, I'll play it now, that went viral on social media. They called out a few people. They found more because they asked for more photos, including a bunch of people in Scotland.
Scotland?
Scotland. They said they were attending a high-level clearance security type meeting.
I'm looking at this real quick.
We have to make sure it wasn't at the Traitors' Castle.
No, okay. So here's what it was. Oftentimes you see the congressional delegations travel abroad.
Yeah.
They're having meetings with different governmental organizations and businesses. They're
Irish Ministry of such and such.
They're developing business contacts. They're having
trade relations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But during a shutdown, 30 members of Congress on our dime, and it was booked months ago.
Sure.
According to the story, they're over at Scotland exploring business possibilities and trade agreements and visiting old castles. Because clearly, America has a shortage of old castles, and they're going to see how do we start old castles, and how do we light a fire under the old castle industry?
How do we maintain our old castles here
Seriously.
in America?
But the whole point of the story is people aren't getting paid.
Yeah.
In these government agencies during this shutdown, and you got Lindsey Graham at Disneyland, you got people all over the world, Republican and Democrat alike, who were sent home on 2 weeks of Easter break without any kind of an agreement being reached, and nobody's getting paid. And TMZ's a watchdog? TMZ?
TSA is getting paid now, right? They work on emergency order.
TSA's got an emergency order. They're getting paid, yeah. And there's others who are also air traffic controllers were deemed essential, and they've been paid throughout the course of the shutdown. But there's a lot of folks in the government that work federal employees that are not getting paid for the last 2 months.
Well, and it's weird to me that a vacation would stand, that a spring break would stand given the current circumstances. You would think, oh, if you guys haven't figured it out, vacation's off.
They sometimes, I know that they sometimes do that. Well, they'll say like, hey, we're having an emergency session. You can't,
we're staying here to work.
We're calling everybody in and everybody's going to stay. But in this case, both sides were disagreeing and they just said, we're going to head out. Was there an audio clip you wanted to play here, Laura?
Yeah, and I just love that TMZ is on this because everyone knows TMZ has eyes everywhere.
I have different thoughts on this, but we'll do it after you play your clip.
Now is the time that some of them probably had scheduled vacations. So maybe they're on a cruise somewhere or in Hawaii or some other great place. We want those pictures. And the point of this is to show how fed up the American people are, because we are. And it's so insulting that they are, the Republicans blame the Democrats. Lindsey Graham was quick to say it's the Democrats' fault. No, it's both your faults, because two sides have to come together to compromise.
Here's my take on this. They're also showing pictures of people just doing completely normal life things that you would do when you're back home in your district.
Mm-hmm.
So local congressman here, Michael Baumgartner, actually came to the defense of a Democrat who TMZ posted all over their thing. TMZ, because somebody at his son's Little League, some Democrat, I forget the guy's name, but he was at his son's Little League keeping score, and TMZ said, look at this guy, where everybody's not getting paid and the government's half shut down. He's in front of his kids' Little League keeping score.
Was it Jared Boskowitz with his son's basketball game in Florida?
Game. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
And Baumgartner comes out and says, yeah, that's a totally normal dad thing to do. It's very weird for TMZ to be posting pictures of this guy being a dad.
That's a good point, man.
And I think that's really smart and nice of Michael Baumgartner, a Republican, to defend a Democrat. Yeah, they disagree on this thing, but TMZ doesn't give two bleeps about this. TMZ wants to get clicks. That's all they care about. They realize that people stopped caring about Nancy Guthrie's mom as much as they were, which they were all over. Every single day they were posting a new thing about how they had some insight into a new bit of Bitcoin being asked about Nancy Guthrie's thing. And then people stopped clicking on it, and so now it's this. I find it disingenuous. I don't think it's completely real. If it was, they wouldn't be posting pictures of people being dads and moms doing normal things.
Right.
Listen, you can make a good argument for the Scotland one.
Yeah.
You can make a good argument for Lindsey Graham at Disney because he's an adult with no kids there. By all means, scrutinize away on those. But for the people who are just trying to live their lives and have families, then
it's funny because I think both positions expressed here are right. Stay at work until you get the thing settled. But TMZ, they're wolves. They're just wolves on this, man. They don't care.
If they want us to scrutinize TMZ, easily scrutinizable, and I don't even know if that's a word.
Yeah.
All right, should we move over to? Let's see here. Here's my.
To yours. Yeah.
Here's my favorite one, and this one is the one that is all over the internet. Some people are loving it. This is the week of astronauts. Everybody's excited about the astronauts.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody can't believe we're up in space again. And what's cool about it too is, when I first heard about the mission, I didn't really think a ton of it. But the more I read into it and the more I saw, like you were showing me a graphic earlier of what they had to accomplish in order to get out past the moon. They're the farthest human beings have ever been from the planet.
Right. There was their trajectory track was posted online, and the fact that they have to not just launch 4 humans in a rocket to go to and circle the moon and come back. The moon is a moving target.
Yeah.
They launch to where the moon's going to be in 3 days at how many thousands or tens of thousands of miles per hour.
As they fly 25,000 miles an hour through space.
And then they got to circle the moon. They got to go and just cut one quick circle to use the gravity to have enough motion to get home.
It's amazing.
What they have to go through to get it right.
Yes.
It's incredible, the technology and the level of intricacy and genius and
all of it is very impressive, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
It's hard to put into words just how amazing it is.
You know what? But one kid figured it out. CNN put a mic in front of him and said, "Why are you so excited?
Why do you want to be here? Why do you love space? Why do you love being a part of history?"
We're going back to the moon, that's why.
It's easy. The answer's obvious.
That's right.
We're going back to the bleeping moon.
Yeah,
that's
we're
why.
paid by the word. We have to come up with more than just.
Yes.
But that kid, he distilled it down to is pure essence.
Listen, that's just the right. It's the right answer.
About a little 11-year-old at Cape Canaveral to witness it firsthand. Among estimates are up to 400,000 people.
400,000 people
were on site to see that live,
and they all had the same thought simultaneously.
We're going back to the moon, that's why.
Yes. It's awesome.
He's got a NASA cap and a GoPro strapped to his head so he can relive the moment when he gets home.
He should work in PR because he's nailing it. Can we play this quick clip as well? Astronaut Christina, we decided her last name was pronounced Cook. Christina Cook. There was a broken toilet on board, which would have been a real bad situation for them.
Sure.
And she was interviewed last night. I believe this is either CBS or ABC. I forget which interview
It was ABC. Oh, she did both. I think it was ABC is the clip we have.
So this is an ABC clip from Christina, and she talks about how she had to be the person to fix the job, and she gave herself a fun nickname too.
I'm the space plumber. I'm proud to call myself the space plumber. I like to say that it is probably the most important piece of equipment on board. So we were all breathing a sigh of relief when it turned out to be just fine. It was just an issue, I think, of sitting for a long time and needing a little time to warm up, a priming issue. But we did originally think that there could have been potentially something fouling up the motor, and luckily we are all systems go.
All systems
She's talking about one of her co-astronauts or the commode itself.
Somebody sitting for too long?
Sitting and had to warm up.
Fouling it up.
Wow.
Pretty cool. Anyway, America's first space plumber, which is pretty neat.
Yeah, it really has embodied what makes this country and humanity itself just great.
Ingenuity.
Yeah.
Rocket ships and toilets, same thing. Spike, you got a buddy coming in next.
Yeah, my friend Craig Gass, a comedian who got a start here in Seattle. We worked for us at the radio station years ago, was an intern when he started. He's going into the national notoriety. He's got a list of credits as long as his arm. He is hosting an event, an anti-bullying event Saturday night at the Moore with a lot of local rock royalty, including Nancy Wilson and many, many others.
Sweet.
It's an anti-bullying thing. We'll have him in next to tell us about the event. And
he's going to be hanging out.
Yeah, he's going to come in next break. It's going to be great.
Fantastic. All right, stick around. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group. Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
Considering the option of assisted living for a parent or loved one can be the hardest decision you'll ever have to make, but doesn't have to be. Here's what I wish someone had told me sooner. Aegis Living. We're talking about luxury communities, chef-prepared meals, resort-style amenities. Forget what you think you know about senior living. It was voted best of Western Washington, Aegis was. And with 500,000 reviews, over 60,000 communities nationwide, Seniorly has ranked Aegis Living the #1 senior living community in all of America for 2025. Go to aegisliving.com/spike, schedule a visit today. Take a tour. There's no obligations. When you do, you're going to turn to whoever you're with and you're going to say, this must be the place, because it is. aegisliving.com/spike.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday.
All right, your car repair is going to run about $3,000.
Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit a federal refund into Credit Karma Money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Mariners fans, the 2026 season is officially underway, and the defending AL West champs are ready to feed off your energy at T-Mobile Park. Be here for every monster home run.
Goodbye! A no-doubt moonshot by Julio.
Every 100-mile-per-hour heater.
Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Every historic moment.
Number 60, the magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Lock in your seats today at mariners.com/tickets.
Advanced Hair Restoration, the simple one-day hair loss solution that's guaranteed to regrow your own natural hair. AdvancedHair.com. AdvancedHair.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The pilot of a downed fighter jet in Iran has been rescued. The search, however, continues for a second crew member on board. CBS's Natalie Brand has the latest.
CBS News has confirmed U.S. forces rescued one of the 2 crew members of an F-15 that went down over Iran. Social media video showed 2 Black Hawk helicopters and a C-130 in what appeared to be part of the effort. Iranian media showed wreckage that weapons experts said appeared consistent with an American F-15.
On Iranian television, they announced a reward for the capture of an American pilot. Tribal gas stations in our state say they're seeing a bump in business as prices at the pump soar. KIRO 7 TV's Renji Sinha says drivers are finding big savings there.
Tanya Burns with the Tulalip tribe says the past few months and weeks have seen a major uptick in business at the tribe's gas stations.
And so they're willing to drive further to come here, if there's a 30 cent or 40 cent difference.
The main reason, they're getting a break on taxes. According to the Washington Policy Center, an independent nonprofit that looks at state policy, tribal gas stations get a refund on state fuel taxes. And the IRS gives tribes exemption on federal excise taxes on fuel. It means lower prices for you, but it also gives the tribes purchasing power.
Sound Transit wants to hear from you as it works to close a projected $34.5 billion funding gap. Agency has now launched an online survey noting rising costs, labor shortages, and other issues are threatening planned light rail extensions. KIRO News Radio's Chris Sullivan explains.
We maybe don't go to Tacoma, we only go to 5. Maybe we don't go all the way to the West Seattle Junction, we only go to Delridge. Maybe we even don't go to Ballard at all. Or we change the alignment a little bit. We get rid of stations, we get rid of this. They're looking for ways to get that money back.
Sound Transit says no final decisions have been made. You can find a link to the agency's survey on mynorthwest.com. And crews have now cleared the biggest trees and boulders that fell onto I-5 during a landslide south of Bellingham. It has shut down the northbound lanes for weeks now. Crews are still working to stabilize the hillside there. It is closed with no ETA for reopening on I-5. Now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
Alrighty, no big surprises on any of our major routes right now. We have building volumes in all the usual spots. We'll give you a heads up. Both directions of State Route 99 will close overnight at Seattle's downtown tunnel. Time for another regular checkup. The closure is from 10 p.m. through 6 a.m. Saturday. All right, it's a half-hour drive through downtown Seattle on northbound I-5. Scattered backup starting at the Michigan Curve now to the Ship Canal Bridge. South 5, you're slow from Northgate in the downtown. Westbound 520 jams up at Montlake Boulevard over to I-5. Westbound 90, you're looking good. You're going to get heavy there at Rainier Avenue over to I-5. Everett to Marysville, less than a 15-minute commute. Bellevue to Renton, less than 25. North 405 slows to the Renton S-curves now. And Tacoma to Olympia, we're inching up to a 1-hour drive, 55 minutes. A 3 to 4 mile bumper-to-bumper backup through JBLM, and then more slowing between Lacey and Olympia. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
To your forecast now, we are looking at a drier and warmer afternoon. The weekend's looking great. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s. We might even see some 70s pretty soon. Right now, 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Very excited. Spike, you are just giddy like a little schoolgirl. You got a good buddy here with you in studio. Do you want to make the welcomes here?
I'd love to. Craig Gass is a nationally known touring comedian with credits in decades worth of credits on television. But I was still his boss at one point. When Craig started in radio, was an intern for the Bob Rivers Show at the old KSW studios. And this guy walked in and wanted to be an entertainer and an incredible natural talent. But he was willing to work for free, which is what we loved. I think we paid you with
amazing
CDs
how many natural
for
talent
the first 2
they're all
years.
willing to work for free.
Yeah, there's something this guy's got, a low bar. Now, Craig Gass, I couldn't be prouder. You were the resident comedian at one point for Howard Stern's national broadcast.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no way.
For multiple years. Yeah, oh yeah.
That's sweet.
I mean, the kind of voice talent that is, literally world renowned. What's your list of TV, Craig? Quit filming me.
I like filming, and here I am being a non-professional radio broadcaster.
Craig, you need to talk more.
Tell me just real quick some of your
King of Queens, Sex and the City. I've been doing celebrity voices on Family Guy, American Dad, and now I'm back on the Howard Stern Show for the first time in 20 years. And it all started here in Seattle in Pioneer Square at Comedy Underground, and then with Bob and Spike at KISW. And I had no idea what I was walking into. I just thought, God, those guys are really funny. Hey, you guys are really funny. You guys, can I do some funny stuff on your show? And I had no idea how well respected they were in the entire radio industry. And Bob was kind enough to bring me to Morning Show Boot Camp, which is a morning show radio
convention.
It's a convention,
yes. It's 6 hour morning shows. Yeah.
I've heard about it. I've heard about some of your stories from Morning Show
It's
Boot
like
Camp.
we brought free cheese, free snacks. Because every radio station in the country then wanted to use Craig's talents on their shows.
How old were you back then? I mean, like, what was like? You don't have to give exact age.
I was 20. I was 23 when I started with Bob, and then I put a tape together at 25 and sent it to Howard, and they called the next day. I didn't even have a phone. I used the station phone number, so. The next time I came in looking for free movie passes, they said, because you'd always suck up to
missed a call. His name was
missed
Howard.
a call. Gary Delabate is looking for you, and he wants you to call him about. They want to talk to you about a tape that you sent them, and so I started working for Howard, and then in 1998, still living here and still doing stuff for Bob and Spike. I started writing for Howard. And when I started writing for Howard, I thought maybe I should go back to New York, which is where I'm originally from.
Okay.
So I moved back to New York in April of 1998. I moved in with another comedian, Mitch Hedberg, who
oh my gosh,
was who we're actually working on a documentary now for Netflix. And I started writing
just a singular unique talent.
Oh, absolutely.
Unbelievable.
And a very kind and well put together person. And he was. He
was, but
he just had one flaw. And that one flaw is what killed him.
Yeah.
But I also started writing for Weekend Update, for Saturday Night Live.
Who was the host at the time?
Colin Quinn.
Oh my gosh, I
from
love Colin Quinn.
October.
That's why he didn't work. I was wondering what was it about Colin that people just don't like?
It's Craig's jokes. No, my jokes. I mean, I got like one joke in a year and a half because I wasn't a staff.
That's more than 99.99% of
I'm angry
Americans.
we're having him in at 2:30. We should have had a whole earlier segment where we could have a lot of time with him.
Well,
you got to come back. How long are you here?
I'm just here for the. I'm not even.
Why are you here?
I'm doing a show at the Moore Theater.
Yeah.
I'm performing at a fundraiser with some incredible human beings. Nancy Wilson from Heart is performing Heart songs at the Moore Theater. The couple guys from the band Shinedown, the singer and guitar player.
Mike Inez from Alice in Chains.
Mike Inez from Alice in Chains. Guys from Presidents of the United States of America.
Chris.
Aaron Jones. I've been hearing names of people that are showing up that I didn't even know about that were unannounced, like Stu Ham. There's like some legendary musicians that are coming up
so
for this.
This is an event called Amplify Courage. There's a national anti-bullying organization called Stand for Courage. And what they do is they empower and help guide school kids, high school, just not even high school, school kids.
Yeah.
Help them build communities and environments of anti-bullying.
Nice.
So when I say, you've got something in common with the First Lady. Your affinity for spray tans and your passion for anti-bullying.
Absolutely.
So well done, my friend.
And as a kid who grew up in a deaf family, so I'm known as a guy who does voices. I've always had a knack to do any voice that I hear. And it's because of how I grew up. And this is not a joke. This is a true story. Everyone in my family is deaf. My mom, my dad, my sister, they're all completely deaf. And growing up in a deaf family.
What? Just kidding.
Yeah, I could.
And yet you still believe you weren't adopted.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Disrespectful.
Oh, believe me, people always want to be sensitive. But meanwhile, the most insensitive deaf jokes I've ever heard were from deaf people. I tell a joke on stage, and it's 100% true story.
Is it clean for the radio?
It is.
Okay,
I took my sister out to, we threw a surprise birthday party for my sister, and you can argue that anything to deaf people is a surprise. But I knew you were thinking that. Spike is so good. Spike is so good that people don't even see it coming. Spike saw it coming. And but we threw a surprise.
But I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I threw a surprise birthday party for my sister. Afterwards, we're all sitting around having dinner, and my sister, who is deaf, she's sitting across the table from me. She's signing to me, and she waves and goes, and in sign language, she said, "Do you want to hear a good joke?" And I said, "Sure." And then she said, "Me too." And I went, "What the that is, And I tell her, I go, man, I tell that joke on stage and it kills. And she just waves it off like, oh, that's an old joke. And I'm like, I've never heard it. It might be in the deaf community. But anyway, so growing up in a deaf family, I know what it's like to be ridiculed, and I know what it's like to stand out and have people, because they don't understand, they try to knock you down.
Fear what they don't know, man.
Yeah, so what happens is the money that's raised from this show at the Moore Theater is they take the funds, and they've been creating these videos that they distribute throughout schools throughout the Pacific Northwest about how bullying affects people. And if you see it, stand up for somebody, which for me is really key. Bullying wasn't really a big thing for me because I'm what the kids used to refer to back in the day as a wuss. I just ran a lot. So, but I did witness a friend who got bullied a lot for whatever reason. He just became a target. He was a new kid he actually moved from another country. I saw him get bullied really hard one day, and these girls they smacked the glasses off of him, and his glasses broke when they hit the ground. And I found out later that his mom was so upset that his glasses were broken that she punished him, and so he got it on both ends of his life. I reunited with this guy a few years ago. He ended up in the military. He's a physically strong man.
Yeah.
But he still has this vulnerability in his voice. And he said at some point when we hung out, he said, "I got to be honest with you." He said, I did not have good experiences growing up. And he still feels it to this day.
Isn't it amazing how those little moments, like the one you just described, like and I think most people listening have had similar experiences when they're kids. Mm-hmm. Those really make an imprint on you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And so, like an organization like the one you're promoting, to be able to teach kids that not only
kids, give them the tools.
Not only do you not want to do this to other kids, but if you see it happening, what a difference it makes to
It does.
to step in and also to befriend somebody who's being bullied. Because in the same moment that somebody becomes a victim of a bully, there's an incredible opportunity for you to step in and be a hero to these kids as well.
Yeah.
And you can be a friend to them.
It's a lot easier than you think it is.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier than you think it is.
Just like standing up to a bully.
Yeah.
Because the second you stand up to a bully, usually, unless they're massive and just love beating up people, they usually back down. That's the point at which they say, hey, you know what? I got to go find an easier target.
Well, the show is Saturday night at the Moore Theater. You can go to STG Presents, Seattle Theater Group, stgpresents.org to get tickets. Doors at 6, show at 7. Craig, I love you as all the live long day, my friend.
I adore you. I
couldn't
cannot
be prouder.
believe that. I mean, I got to tell you, I say this all the time. I've worked with literally everyone in stand-up comedy in the last 33 years. Well, mostly in the last 26 years since I started making a living and paying my bills and paying my mom's bills. I have yet to meet anyone who's quicker or funnier than Spike O'Neill, with the exception of the only other time I ever saw it, and it's the one time I was ever around him, when Dave Chappelle came back from Africa. The day he came back from Africa, he did a show at the Comedy Store, and there was an empty booth in front of me. And right when they said, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dave Chappelle, in walks Chris Rock, Charlie Murphy, and Eddie Murphy. They sit right in front of me. And I hyper-focused on Eddie Murphy, and he was the greatest comedy audience member I've ever seen in my life. He started laughing at all the setups alone. Nobody else was laughing. But as Dave was setting up jokes, Eddie started to understand where it was going, and he started laughing, which is why I love Spike.
Because he's doing the math in his head.
He's already doing the math on his head. On the first few words, he's already seeing an end game, and that's why I love Spike. Spike is a genius, and he is a national treasure.
Well, you're clearly inebriated. Do you, next time you come back to town, please come back again.
Yes, I want to come back. I haven't done a proper show in Seattle since I did a casino show in 2019.
Well, come on back.
Come back.
I need to come back. I do book all my shows around Seahawks and Mariners road games, which is a big reason why I'm not famous. But I do get to see the Mariners and Seahawks play all over the world.
There's a trade-off.
How many Super Bowls you been to? Not just Seahawks. How many Super Bowls you been to?
I've been to every Super Bowl for the last 28 years or so. But I've only gone to the actual game when the Seahawks are in it, because I interview the players every year at the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Media day. He's a king of media day.
But I go every year to interview the players and do silly stuff with the players. And I usually do silly stuff with the Seahawks every year for training camp, which I'm hoping to do again this August. So,
Craig, I want more time with you.
All right, well,
how
about this? How about I book a show and come in to announce it in August when I come back to do training camp for the Seahawks?
Yes.
Thank you, brother.
Fantastic.
All right,
check all the information out at stgpresents.org for information on the show. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around. Bear back.
Congratulations to KIRO News Radio's Charlie Harger and digital content producer Patrick Janasek, nominated for a Northwest Emmy Award for investigative reporting.
It began with a question from the community. It seemed almost too stunning to be true.
KIRO News Radio is honored to be the only radio station nominated for the prestigious Emmy Award as part of our commitment to impactful storytelling across every platform, reaching into the communities we serve. On KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
Listen, every day across Washington, kids stay after school giving their all for sports and activities, many on empty stomachs. That's a problem. Food insecurity in our state is at crisis levels, and it's hurting learning and performance. Safeway and Champions of Change Foundation are stepping up with Nourishing Champions, providing grants to schools for after-school meal programs. Schools don't wait. Applications close April 8th. That's April 8th. Go to championsofchangefoundation.org and click Nourishing Champions.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about artificial intelligence.
I cannot answer that.
Many professions are using it, and allegedly some are even being taken over by it. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know police are leveraging AI, whether it's analyzing body cam footage, reading license plates, or even facial recognition. AI has become a helpful tool, enabling officers to work more efficiently. And efficiency for them means more people getting pulled over. You can't chat GPT your way out of a high BAC. Getting legal advice from AI is no substitute for an attorney. Use AI correctly, or it can result in trouble, like a self-driving car taking you home from a bar.
You have reached your destination.
So call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. If you get pulled over for DUI, the only thing you need your smart device to do is call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY!
This is Lynn. She's always been active, maybe a little too active back in the day.
When I was 19 years old and immortal, I stripped out all my ligament and I had to have 6 knee surgeries, and that's on my right knee. And then my left knee finally gave out and had a torn meniscus.
Years of pain followed until she saw Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's a miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I wanted to.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. TurboTax helps you get your biggest refund, and then Credit Karma helps you do more with it. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Your windows and doors play a huge role in your home's efficiency and comfort. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors for windows that are up to 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards and reduce noise by up to 50%. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Welcome back to the show. We got a lot of text messages. Let's just dive right in. Laura, go for it.
On the escaped inmate from a mental institution, Char in the 360 says, who reviews judges? Other judges? Can you say Fox and Henhouse?
It's a great question, Char.
Although we talked about the story of a guy who had escaped from Western State, and how is somebody who's a violent criminal history putting our next texter, Matthew Tacoma, says the guy must have been in minimum security section of Western. How does that guy get into a minimum security section of Western? And what kind of judge doesn't realize that these people are a danger to the community?
100%. Yep, absolutely.
Further with Matthew in Tacoma says, a dude must have been in a minimum security section of Western State. When I was there years ago, there was a metal grates outside the windows, and I wasn't there after an assault. He should have been where I was. Go figure.
Yeah.
Are there so many violent people that they got to put the almost violent people in a minimum security?
That's a good question. And also, Matthew, thank you for listening. Sounds like, if you're texting, you turned your life around and you're listening to a show like ours, which is fantastic. I didn't even realize
when I was there. Maybe he was a guest.
Matthew.
Maybe he was a janitor.
Thank you for hanging out.
Maybe he's better.
On Katie Wilson saying she'll fire cops for working with ICE, 206 says, Jake, you're making a big deal out of nothing. Katie Wilson did not tell the officers to interfere. They are only being asked to document. I understand your point, 206. My question is, if they do not document, as she is saying that they must, are they then going to be fired for not documenting? That was my question. And also, I'm wondering how that's even going to be figured out.
Dave in the 253 says Trump has issued more than 253 executive orders this term, no different from what King County Mayor is doing. If illegal, it can be challenged in courts.
Which is, we mentioned that.
As it should, yeah. Adam in Bonnie Lake says, why doesn't the state have to follow federal law?
They're talking about sanctuary cities.
Yeah. Well, they're talking about the Supremacy Clause of the Constitution. States have rights unless otherwise expressed in the Constitution guaranteed to the federal. It's pretty easy stuff. I know it's written on old paper, but it's really easy read.
Thank you, Adam, for your text. On surveillance cameras, Destiny Seattle says people who are against public cameras have never been a victim of a crime. I do not understand where all the skepticism of public cameras comes from. Is this solely coming from fear of ICE? I can't think of what a crooked cop would do with footage of me walking down the street. Great question, Destiny. I think a lot of people have that feeling.
And on public nudity, we got a lot of texts about this. Bernie and Squim says, Nude Stock alum here, had a blast 40 years and pounds ago.
Oh, Bernie, you and me both.
Gross. Bernie, thank you for listening. And I'm glad I can't see what you're looking like right now. But I'm super glad you're listening. Go ahead.
Elena, I was a volunteer at the prestigious Rockland Center for the Arts in New York State. We offered nude drawing classes. Most students were serious, but we also had a creepy guy. Sure enough, when we changed the model from female to male, the creepy guy stopped attending.
That's what I'm saying. It opens up the door for creeps. There's too many creeps in this bunch. It's like a bad banana, unintended. Benny the tugboat expert says, I was in San Francisco when I first saw nude bicycle riders in 2013. I thought, what the hell's going on here? I didn't know they do it in Seattle too until recently. Yes, they do, Benny, and I am fully in agreement with you. It feels odd, very odd.
253 says, regarding nudity in public, weird. Please keep it private. It only takes, private, no pun intended. It only takes one person to spoil it for everyone when they make it a sexual thing. Okay, that's on me. I made it a sexual thing, 253. Go and enjoy and be free. Totally support this, but not on a public street, please.
100%.
253 says, naked bike rides stopped being artsy, avant-garde, or shocking when they started being accepted. We don't need organized nude events in public spaces.
100%. Tim in Burlington says, several years ago at a church I no longer attend, a man came to join after having been away from church for more than 25 years. He felt incredibly moved by the idea of being before the Lord after such a long time away. He went to the restroom, took off all his clothes, and came out in the church with absolutely nothing on, not a stitch of clothing. And he said that God spoke to him, wanted him to come before the Lord like Adam and Eve. This was a very difficult moment for our congregation. Yeah, it's gross. Wow. And shouldn't be doing that.
Imagine
and like Adam and Eve, I wish he would have felt shame.
That's what
he's not in the Garden of Eden in a private place.
You got to get the subtext.
Yeah, did someone toss him an apple?
Yeah, get out of here. Good golly. All right, that's our show today. Thank you, guys. I hope you have a great weekend. For those of you who celebrate, like I will be, I hope you have a wonderful Easter weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Happy
with your
Easter,
families.
buddy.
Happy Easter.
Yeah.
And you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday. Bye-bye.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children. Thinking about starting weight loss treatment? GoodRx is here to help. We offer FDA-approved GLP-1 medications prescribed by licensed providers, including the Wegovy tablet, with straightforward pricing and pickup at your local pharmacy or delivery to your door. All from America's #1 prescription app. Go to goodrx.com/weight-loss to get started. GoodRx is not insurance. Cancel anytime. #1 prescription app ranked by a third-party study.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Get more baseball for your buck with Mariners Value Options. Tickets for less than $12 to select games all season and the biggest ever value menu and beer lineup, featuring 36 items and available every game. Check it out at mariners.com/value.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we understand improving your home is an investment in your family, and we're here to help make it easier. With our flexible financing, keeping your family safe, comfortable, and dry has never been more affordable. For more than 20 years, Guardian has earned the trust of thousands of homeowners across the Pacific Northwest with a reputation for quality that lasts. So why wait? Start guarding your home today. Call or visit GuardianRoofing.com.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why